Oh my God, don't be such a loser.
Oh, man.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. You have found yourselves in the wonderful company of some people in the chat, and also we happen to be here as well. It's Tribe Talks, baby. We're back. We're live, we're kicking, we're in action. How the devil is everybody doing? Wolfie, Carth, how you guys doing?
We're doing well.
We're chilling. Rocking.
Okay.
Rolling.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'd like it one time if I said this and you guys just said, shit, fucking worst day ever. I don't want to be here. Fucking let me go.
I didn't want me to be honest.
Oh God. Okay, well, next time.
Honest time. Oh, okay. Well, my bad.
Listen, if we want
My bad.
honesty, we want the honesty whale in the chat, then we need to start getting some whiskey poured into me.
Oh, right, I see. Let us bring out the whale of honesty.
And
Yeah.
life is crushing and everything sucks, and we're here. So how's it going?
The end times are nigh.
There we go.
Oh my days! Oh my days! No, I'm feeling good.
yourself?
I'm genuinely feeling good because on Tuesday we've got a new unit, we've got new FTCs, and it'll be like the end of GAC, which has been terrible for me recently. I mean, it's not the end of GAC, but the end of the week of GAC.
End of the last week.
Oh my
beginning of
God.
the last week of PhD.
It's so painful. I went 0-3 in my first week of fives, and I seriously considered just never playing GAC. Instead, I decided to go full fuck you defense, and that was fun.
I mean,
have-
That was
I
pretty
like
fun.
it.
Yeah.
I like it because it forces you to use counters that you don't typically like get into because you're just always like, oh, I'll just use a GL for this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun. Like if I'm gonna lose, I might as well lose learning stuff. So I'm gonna go have some fun with it.
That's what surprised me.
There we
I mean,
go.
we say it all the time, right? We say it all the time that nothing really holds on defense, and there's loads of non-GL counters to GLs and shit like that. But I set 8 GLs on defense and still full cleared. The only reason I dropped battles was because I was as pissed as a fart. So,
That's a hell of a sentence right there.
If
Yeah.
your farts are pissed, I've got questions.
dude.
Yes. Several
Sometimes
follow-ups. You might wanna go see
they're
a doctor.
dribbly.
I think there's
How's
some
your
code for that.
proctologist? Is that the right fucking terminology? I don't know. Dr. Anus. Sorry, anus.
You might need a visit from the urologist. Well,
Something's definitely gotten mixed up all up in there. I'm telling you. How are we
These
doing,
things
chat?
happen. I ain't gonna judge.
No, I'm not. I mean, this is a place where we can be our true and honest selves, guys. All right. So,
I'm going to judge. Just
Yeah, remember?
silently.
Everything sucks.
Silently.
Crushing life, everything. You know what? See?
in which case, let's quickly message Mrs. Carth and say Carth's gonna need some whiskey stat because we're heading to Honesty Town, baby.
Oh,
Let's lube up those vocal cords with whiskey,
Jesus.
obviously. Oh
The
no!
thing I have in the house is the Mystica. So
The what?
Mystica.
Mystica?
Yeah,
What is that?
it's a liqueur made from pine resin.
I didn't realize.
what do you-
I
what
like
is
how
this wrong-
humans just fucking. It's like, hey, can we turn it into alcohol and drink it? If we
Ranger's
From
got his
Greece.
Fernet, Blanco, Bronco, whatever shit, all his Italian floral crap. You're like, let's make some pine sap into. What the hell is people smoking, man?
It's a Greek liqueur.
All right, well,
Humans
I
are
guess
very
you're smoking some
simple.
good stuff then.
Like
so, Greece represent. I guess you're smoking the good stuff. So I'm gonna stop
our,
judging now.
our,
God damn
our
it.
entire culture is based on. Listen, if I can't drink it to get drunk or eat it to be full, I'm gonna fuck it. Those are like or smoke it. Yeah, I mean, there's some sort. Okay, we'll change drink it to get drunk to be if it can't make me lose my sobriety, it can't make me full. I want to try and have sex with it. That's what humans are built on. That's the trifecta.
Yeah.
Even
there's a
pine
crossover.
sap. Pine sap is not safe. I'm sure you can use some sort of pine sap lube. I mean, I probably wouldn't recommend it, but
Don't think that would
Too
work
sticky.
in
Sounds
the
too sticky.
way you're hoping it's going to work. But you're welcome to try it.
hard
If
pass.
You let me know
Trying
how
to
that goes.
Plug something up, then
Oh god.
that might be a good combination.
Oh gosh, I love our Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast.
Oh yeah, no, we are.
Today we talked about using pine sap as lube.
Naturally.
That's going to be the title of this episode. Pine sap is a human lubricant. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you learn something new every day, every single day. All right. So I went 0-3, but now I'm 1-1 in GAC. How have you guys gotten on?
First week I was 2-1 on the main account, 0-3 on the alt, and then
nice.
Week 2 I'm 2-0 on both. So
Okay.
I'll probably throw the last round just for the sake of not climbing 100 some odd points, and that's about it.
Yeah. Bite you, Wolfie.
I think I went 1-2 week 1. I didn't have enough time to like change defenses and stuff, so I still had like some really weak ass shit. This week I'm 1-1, so we'll see how round 3 is gonna go. I was in a bracket with a freaking guildie this week.
Oh, nice.
And just did not. We both went 1-1 and did not manage to get matched up round 3, unfortunately.
Those fuckers.
So
that sucks when that happens.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I won the first round. He lost the first round. I lost the second round. He won the second round. So I figured maybe there's a chance, but I think it's just like where you are in the bracket. But unfortunately,
yeah,
would have been a fun one.
It would have been.
We're gonna wrap it up.
I've had occasions like that where it's somebody you want to match up with, and it just doesn't work out. It just doesn't work out, and then you'll never see them ever again. So, alas.
There's been several people that I've matched up with like 3 or 4 times in a row. Not
really?
in a row, but like several, like 3 or 4
like
times.
every new week. So
no,
like
I mean like.
Oh, you just
like
mean
Halo
long term?
Implant, like a viewer of Halo Implant. I think I've matched up with him like 3 or 4 times over the years. Just like every couple of months, we'll go and meet up again. So it's always a few people I've actually met up with a number of times, and so people just keep on skipping. So
yeah,
it happens.
I've had quite a few where I've had the same person in my bracket. If we've matched up or we're in the same bracket for like 6 weeks straight because our records stay the same.
Oh, that'll happen too, yeah.
So we get like locked in tandem, and so it's like I'm just like hopeful we don't keep facing each other, because then it's like, oh, do I keep grinding on this vendetta of like I lost you last time, now I have to win, or you lost last time, so now you want to win, and so now it's gonna be super
that I have
sweaty.
had like several weeks in a row where you're like back and forth. Yeah, that I've absolutely had too.
The stress is different there as well. Well, or maybe not the stress. The pressure is different there because you're like, well, he knows my defense.
Yeah.
What do I do this time?
do I actually change my defense?
It's the double
Don't
bluff.
Put the effort in.
Yeah. No, I can't be asked half the time to change my defense anymore. It's just like, you could just try to see if it works for you. I'll basically will do maybe once a season. If I feel froggy, I might change it up mid-season. But typically it's just like, here's all the things that suck to fight. I'm going to give you as many as possible, and then pray to God that you didn't leave me a shitty board.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's genuinely what I did last round. I did that last round because I got so fucking fed up of everybody just one-tapping my defense. I was just like, fucking everything goes on defense. Fuck you. And I was like, oh, you only set 3 GLs. I can win. And then he dropped against Lord Vader clones. Like the one time. I've had Lord Vader clones on defense, and it's been one-tapped every single fucking time. The one time I put 8 GLs on defense, he drops against Lord Vader clones. I'm like, all right, fuck me then.
Well, yeah, because he said whatever counter he would have used got used somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe.
So
well, that was his second fight.
For a lot
He gave
of
up after that.
Well, he probably was just trying to be, see if he could
probably.
use like some easier counter, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people try to...
Or cheaper.
Yeah, they forget that you have to sacrifice a GL for the BAM Sonicron to still work.
Yep.
And so they kind of mess that up a little bit. And then a few of the other ones are just like, it just depends on what they like plan on their board of what they could use. Some people still think that Bo Mando works, even though it has like a 25% win rate. And so it's just like they're like, okay, that's my counter, and then they go through and it fails, and there's like match over.
To be fair, I think from what I saw before, like the layer counter is like 70% or something versus Dark Side clones. So people might have just like in out of 3 matches of GAC, everybody could have tried using layer, and one of them statistically is probably going to fail. So it's maybe it was just that. Maybe it was just that. And he didn't kill anything, so he gave up. Like, didn't kill anything, didn't preload it. He was just like, nope, done, and then just didn't attack again. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, for Leia, part of it comes down to the modding too, because if you outrun the Lord Vader, Leia has a much better win rate than if you're slow.
That's hard to outrun. A fast Lord Vader, or is it not Lord Vader you have to outpace?
No, yeah, it's Lord Vader. So Leia needs to move before.
Okay.
It just gives them. How it gives them an edge, I'm not 100% sure. I just know and then of course team comp also changes the success rate, but it just helps a little bit for her to move first, and that's harder for a lot of people to outrun.
Yeah.
Because Leia is a huge speed investment plus the 40 speed, but Lord Vader's much faster. So
yeah, I think my Lord Vader is like 380 something. So he's relatively quick.
You mean 580?
580 something.
Yes. Did I say 380? Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant 380 extra speed.
He is 0 speed, all offense, latest character.
That's what I meant, 580 something. I better check that actually, because I'm curious now.
See, my Leia is 575 and
589. He's quick.
Slacker is 580 even.
Yeah. Now, look, my Lord Vader is 589. He's pretty fast. So yeah. But I'm going through a remod again now, so that'll be fun for next week if it finishes trying to... You know when you do like a really stringent, complete roster remod with hot utils and it takes like 14 days to run? I'm doing that at the moment.
No.
No, I do not.
I do not.
You probably need to upgrade that potato.
Yeah,
CPU.
my potato over CPU. It is a bit of a potato. That's fair. Yeah. Well, no, it's not that bad, but
no, I just
sometimes like the more stringent the requirements become, and the shitter your mods are, like mine, the longer it takes to try and make shitty mods work for high thresholds across the roster. It's like, meh.
The first like 5 characters are like easy, and then it's like everything else is like 2 hours of them just trying to reorganize every single mod combination to get it to work.
I'm just imagining this like it's a GPS just going recalculating. Oh shit! Nope, wrong turn. Nope, wrong turn. Nope, wrong turn. Nope, wrong turn. Damn it, we need better mods.
Yeah.
Everyone's a dead end.
Basically, it is like trying to calculate GPS, but you're saying, I want to take every corner at 120 miles an hour. All right, so figure that one out.
Yep, figure that one out.
The biggest thing with
everything's
those
a gravel road.
The biggest thing with those full roster remods from hot utils, though, is like they get way faster when you have relic investment, because then the stat thresholds become way less of an issue unless you're like super like you need like 200k health on somebody. Then that's different can of worms.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I have noticed, because I'm in more right now and more Erodium, and those guys are like, hey, basically everything's R8, right? And I'm like, no. All our modding requirement is around R8, R9. I'm like, well, fuck me. So yeah, their thresholds are very high, but it's like even for like the stuff that's nice to have, that's also all like R8. I'm like, I'll be there in 5 to 6 years. It's my fault. I shouldn't have tried to join a really, 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 really big boy guild without having the relics to back it up, all the mods.
These things happen.
Yeah.
But that's just the caveats, right? It's how those bigger guilds function, is that you're basing things off of much higher thresholds. So
yeah, I mean, when you've got people like Tasnix in the guild that has like everything Relic 9. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't.
Erodium? I thought he was in Chromium.
No. Well, he might bounce, but he's been with Erodium as long as I've been here, at least. Yeah. So, but yeah, he doesn't have everything Relic 9. I was exaggerating there, obviously. He's got lots of things.
He's got
just
a lot of
most
things.
things.
At Relic 9. But he has some really banger mods, so
he does.
I think he's well over the 300 plus 25s.
Yeah, it's good times.
Likely, yeah.
I do like it though. It's a good guild. You learn a lot. At least I tried to learn a lot, and then I drink to forget, and then I realize I don't know so much.
These things happen.
So we've got some news, guys. We've got some news. Oh, well, yeah, we could drink more. How's that whiskey coming on now, Carth? Have you got that? You working on that?
Yep.
Out of a big plastic cup? There's no way you're drinking whiskey out of a big red plastic cup. You would never treat whiskey with such disrespect as to drink it out of a giant plastic red cup.
Unless I was mixing it with a lot of mixer.
And you would never do that either.
Well, not with good whiskey, no.
Exactly. and good whiskey is all I drink.
Want to take some Jack Daniels and drown it in Coke, then we can talk about putting it in that kind of cup.
Look, Ranger's not here, dude. All right? Actually, I don't think he mixes his Jack Daniels. I think he just does it.
I've got no idea. Anyways, news. We were talking about news. Something
what?
Something photo related, right?
The big news is that Temple Guard comes out on Tuesday, and I have to Relic 9 him when I get like another 30 subs on Twitch. Yeah. Oh, Jedi Rules, thank you for the sub. You got us one step closer to an R9 Temple Guard. Drat. Well, I did have to R9 Ewok fucking Elder. So, pull one out for your boy over here. And Balzavai, thank you for the sub with Prime. Appreciate you, dude. One step closer.
No. You Elder is top tier meta.
Oh, yeah. It's been fucking joy, mate. I had to do...
FBC is Ewoks, and it's Elder level 15.
Dude, I had to do Elder. Before Elder, I had to do Tebow. Before Tebow, I had to do Scout. I've had the fucking man chain of Ewoks walking through my roster to Relic 9.
Doing the Lord's work for your roster.
It's a good thing it's all the good Ewoks, right?
I know, right?
The main ones that you want on the team.
Yeah, Scout, Tebow, and... To be fair, Elder's not that bad. But, like... they couldn't even give me fucking Nisa, like the one good Ewok. They're like, no.
The one too easy. You already have her at Relic 7. She's a requirement. Come on.
Oh.
Can't be too nice to you.
Oh, God. Well,
it's 2 Relic levels. The fuck
to be fair, once I did have Lord Vader as a Relic 9 sub goal, and he was already Relic 8, so that was the easiest. I was like, oh, really? Yeah, okay. I'll do that.
When that sub goal was put together, people didn't understand how that was supposed to work. Some goals are supposed to be punishments.
Calling bullshit.
I would say, for the most part, I'm going to ride off Carth's. We will get to the news eventually. I'm going to ride off Carth's thing around, there'll be an Ewok FDC. Because when these Relic 9 sub-goals started, we do have Jawas. When these sub-goals started, people memed on me with R9 Phoenix. And then Captain Sexy Rexy dropped. Right? And they R9'd my Gar Saxon, and then ISC got a rework. And that was kind of cool. So I'm still hoping that Ewoks will yet be meta. One day.
There is a possibility.
I mean, give them enough Omicrons, Datacrons, and or a new character.
A whole new Ewok team.
If there was a focused Datacron for the Ewoks, would you apply the Chief Chirper Omicron scribe?
Probably. Depends how good it is. If it's actually a really good FDC. If it's on par with Dadbod Boba FDC, I'd probably consider it. Wait, which one is his? Is his TW or GAC?
GAC.
Sold!
Nisa's the TW Cron.
Nisa's TW, yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
I would do it.
Don't ask me that question. I've already got it equipped.
Well, the thing is Omnis have become so much easier now, Like,
well, yeah, they're kind of just falling out of the sky to a degree. If you're keeping up with the newer stuff, there's just so many packs and stuff that have Omicrons in it that you get them a lot faster. And then the changes with the passes, they kind of come in a little.
The new era battles, you get
battles, but drop
five a drop. If you can do the top tier on those, that's another thing we'll have to talk about. It's the new era battle. But if you can do the top tier in a week, you get 10 Omnis. Like, that's huge because it turns up twice.
Pretty good.
That's fucking great. It's like, fuck yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. Look, we can just transition that straight into one of the talking points. Is the only part that really sucks about that is the fact that they are stuck behind like how far you can go with the first one. So it kind of feels like the first one's always kind of lackluster. From what I've heard so far is that it's what you can get with Temple Guard is doable with just Temple Guard.
Because you can use Jocasta New as well. Has Barbarossa already seen the event? I haven't checked the survey.
I believe so. I believe so. I said
also CG like issued like a clarification of the event and like the requirements.
Yeah.
It said like the in-game stuff was different, so there was a post recently saying like, hey, here's what it actually is, just so there's no confusion.
Yeah, I think it was just to say that in the later tiers you can still use Temple Guard and Depa Billaba. Because in the data mine, you could, like, the requirement was Mace Windu, and you could also use Jocasta. It said nothing about the new marquees, even though the other tiers had it. And then in the clarification post, they added the marquees to the tier 5, 6, 7. But that's kind of the big bone of contention. And let me get your thoughts on it, guys. 5, 6, and 7 tier of this new era battle that's coming out on week Tuesday. You have to have Mace Windu. Otherwise, you can't play tier 5, 6, 7. And they've rejigged the rewards a little bit. So, like, tier 6 actually gives you the Gerda keypads and the Omicrons. Tier 7 gives you 2,000 crystals and 10 mil credits. That's the R9 tier.
I'm at a bit of an impasse with this one because I'm just kind of torn to the point of it's not going to be as big of a problem as people want to make it out. Yeah, it sucks that Jedi Mace is going to be required for the event versus just the marquees.
Yep.
But if you've already got the marquees for the event and they're already at Relic 5, then I'm like, well, you're going to have Mace on the first pass anyways. So you're still going to miss the first week because, Mace is not
you can't. Yeah, nobody can hit the first week on tier 5, 6, 7.
And I think really that's the biggest thing. Like nobody can hit it. Like
but nobody can hit.
You don't have any advantage over anybody else in the game.
Yeah,
exactly.
But it was the same thing with the first one too. Is that when Apo dropped, nobody could do 4, 5, and 6 with just Apo. It took until getting CX2.
Yeah, you could do the first 3 tiers. Yeah.
CX2 was the only way that it became possible,
but highly improbable.
Yeah.
I still don't know how I managed to. I 3-starred the entire thing with just Apo CX2 eventually. It took fucking ages. But it meant that for the rest of it, I was just like, sim. Oh, so beautiful. Oh my god.
I think I still have tier 5 at 2 stars, so I still have to like auto that one. But I get it first try every time now with the full team.
Yeah, it's a lot easier with the full team. Yeah.
Oh, super easy. I'm not like super all that bothered by Mace being required for like the 4, 5, 6 whatever tier. Like I said, the rewards for it are pretty damn awesome with all the crystals and everything. Yeah. It just sort of feels like they're, instead of dropping 2 separate events, they're just like dropping one big event and hey, this tier of the event will be active later. You can access this one later instead of having to put 2 events. I'm not really all that bothered by it. You're just putting one asset in as opposed to 2 assets and having a Mace tier of the event and no Mace tier of the event. Like it just seems like, and like I said, it affects everybody. So it mostly just kind of feels like much ado about nothing. I can sort of understand how people are like, but there's rewards there and they're requiring Mace and he's not even in the game.
Yeah.
Rabble. But that's sort of what it feels like.
I can see both sides of the coin. See, like for me personally, it doesn't matter because I'm getting Mace. Like it's just happening. I will get Mace. I'll have it. I'll get the rewards no matter what. But there's a part of me that thinks, what about like those guys that just started whaling? Right? Maybe they missed the dark side clones, and they start whaling on Temple Guard and Depa.
Population.
It's a small population, or even those guys that pull a 330. Right? They pull a 330 out of luck. They get that 0.1% chance or whatever it is, 0.01% chance, and they're like, "Oh, that's awesome." And they can only do the first 3 tiers, so they're no better off than anybody else in that respect. And they're not going to whale then on the next character. And if you miss Mace that first time, because there's going to be some people that don't quite have it and will have to wait, like they're going to miss the entire benefit of most of it. At least in the past one, the last era battle, you could complete the entire event with only 2 of the marquees. Like this time you could get the 2 marquees and you still can't do half of it. It's like, oh, and I do understand the perspective of like, it's 2. If you were whaling on those 2, you probably whaled on the clone, so you would be getting Mace anyway. I get that.
I've got a divisive opinion on that
I'm not all
because
that bothered by it.
CG
Sorry, go on.
is so far in front of the horse on this one with the hey, mace is required for the later tiers. If you do not have it, there goes your motivation to go wail on the 2 Jedi
That's
Vanguard
true.
characters.
That's true.
Like, if it happens, sure, but like if you're gonna be serendipitously upset because you happen to pull a 330 and now you can't get rewards you were never gunning for in the first place, that is the most asinine approach you could ever come at me with. It's like, I got this really lucky, this 0.01% drop. I got this really lucky drop of a 330 character. But now I can't get max era battle rewards because Mace is unavailable. It's like, who cares?
But
I would never have spent for it in the first place.
Oh, but I don't know. I think it takes some of the fun out of it. Like I said, it doesn't bother me so much because I'm getting those rewards no matter what. I'll get them, and that's fine. I'm gonna be a little bit curious to see how difficult the actual event is, given that they do let you use Jocasta Nu. Because again, there's going to be people that didn't get Jocasta Nu.
So
she's required. She's available, but is she going to be required?
Cross section.
I think so
Well,
too. Yeah.
I have a hard time with people complaining about not having Jocasta Nu because XYZ.
Karth's just got no sympathy.
No, because listen here. By the time the Mace event launches,
I'm messing with you.
I know, but by the time the Mace event launches, we will be on the 5th conquest of Jocasta Nu.
It's of Smee.
No, it will be the second one of Smee, but it'll be her 5th one that she's been in.
Oh, sorry.
So you could pick up shards for her and shit.
So you can pick up the shards for her. So like, if you were just like, oh well, I'm gonna gold crate her and then I'll pick her up after 6. It's like, all right, but you guys kind of
lazy about it, yeah.
But I mean, even at that junction though, you kind of knew she was going to be a part of the Mace team. You kind of knew that you were going to need her. So if you slacked on that, like, I don't know how I should feel sad for you about that. Like,
it does kind of sound like a you problem. Like, this almost feels like it's a reward to people who invested from the beginning.
But at the same time, these last few conquests have not been the ball eggs that we've had in the past.
No, they're a lot easier.
Pretty easy to get your red crates on for people that could actually engage in this content. If you're actually trying to chase the newest shit in the game, okay, it's not. You should be getting around to that point. You shouldn't.
Well, that's kind of the caveat with like these last couple of conquests. They've been very, very easy for us because we have all of the newest stuff and all the latest teams. So all like the Night Sister ones and all like
we do have all the stuff. That's true.
All that sort of stuff. It's very easy for us to get those feats done. Everybody else has to go and watch. Has to go to youtube.com/scribe gaming to watch all of his.
I hear he's a bit of a douche.
Conquest video.
Yeah. all of the wonderful conquest videos.
I took him 13 days to get all his videos out.
Dude, literally, I released my Sector 5 video like 5 hours before the end of Conquest.
I saw that pop up. I was like, God damn.
I didn't even do the global events. So I was just like, fuck, guys, I'm sorry. Like, listen, I have a disease. It's called I found Clear Obscure Expedition 33, and I just didn't want to play Galaxy of Heroes. I wanted to spend like 60 hours playing this RPG that was fucking amazing, okay? Yeah, like,
to be fair, that bug was going around. It was an epidemic.
It was incredibly what do they call it? Fucking
addictive.
Yes, no, I mean when a disease is easily spread. Contagious.
Oh, contagious.
There we go. It was a very contagious disease,
right.
And it's the best disease I've ever had.
Doctor's orders. He had just no contact available. He had to be locked inside his apartment for his house. Sorry for. What, 2 weeks, something like that. Yeah, I think that's what it was. 2 weeks. The doctor's orders, Sorry,
thank you so much for the 250 biddies, brother. So yeah, that game's fucking amazing, by the way. Like, genuinely, I had an existential crisis after finishing that game. I was just like, I don't know what to do with my life anymore. I'm so confused. What is life now? What is life? Whoa,
Damn.
Bit Dynasty is not a backup plan, Ryrock. I am the Temu Bit Dynasty. Okay, nobody can take that from me. That's my claim to fame. All right, if we're going to go down this line of thought, I need a whiskey. I'll be back in a second.
Boro, it's Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I haven't played it yet, but it's a turn-based RPG, turn-based combat, which is like sort of like still kind of active combat as you're going through stuff. I haven't played it yet. I've seen some gameplay of it. It looks pretty interesting. I've heard it is one of the greatest games of all time. Check it out, try it, whatever. But I have no experience with it myself. However, I have heard very, very good things. So, but yeah, Scribe tried it and was immediately obsessed with it. And I know the feeling. You just get like wrapped into a game, and it's like, oh, I should like be making videos or something, or I should be going live and like, but I'm just gonna actually just play this game because you know what? Yeah. It happens, you know. Karth, you know.
I get into the weeds on so many dumb things when it comes to gaming, so it's just not like it's a huge surprise. It's like, hey, look, there's the other thing I want to play, and then you're like 2 hours into like reading up on builds and kits and everything else, and you're like, oh, no, there went my afternoon.
Oh my god, I do that so much. You just start like get a little bit into something, and then like you find something, and you're like, okay, like some detail in some game, some like you said, some build, whatever that you're looking at, and you're like, okay, now let me learn everything about this, every single detail possible, so I can. And then you just go down this hole of the research and the wiki, link to this, link to the video on this, link to this, and you're like, what just happened?
And there's my entire Sunday.
Yeah. Yep. Way too many times. But you know what? It's a good time. I keep on doing it.
Did you miss me?
Must be doing something. Miss who? What? We had a stormtrooper behind. It was okay.
Oh yeah. His name is not Gary. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I think that would be copyright infringement somehow.
I think it might be.
Yeah. His name's Steve.
No,
I am Steve. Karth doesn't like. All right, Karth. What do you want to name the stormtrooper?
Oh, I'll get back to you on that. I need like a one syllable
Kyle
name.
Bob.
Danica.
That would be
Kenny the stormtrooper. Oh no! Wait a minute. The door technician.
Is that Rick? Rick the door technician.
Rick the door technician. Yeah. It could be Rick.
Oh my god.
Ricky Bobby.
No, it'd need to be a scout helmet if it was Rick.
Oh yes, of course. So could it be Craig then? Because Craig James Bond guy, he played a stormtrooper, right? He was an extra in The Force Awakens as a stormtrooper.
Daniel Craig, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could call him Dan the stormtrooper, but that would just be a bit strange. Yeah. So what did I miss? Were you guys having a riveting conversation?
No, we were just taking a tangential turn off with your Expedition 33 talk.
What a great game! What a great fucking game! Have you guys played it yet?
I just said I have not played it, knew nothing about it, but where was it? Somebody in chat was just asking what game you're talking about.
Yeah,
and then we started talking about how we just go into like go down these rabbit holes with games. Like we'd be playing like a survival game or or like whatever sort of game. Like you're like making builds for something, and then like you find one thing, and then you just spend hours just researching that. You like find the wiki, it links to this, and then you watch a video on this which links to over here, and then find some other guide for this, and then you end up like 5 hours go by and you're like, okay, well now I know everything about that one topic.
Yeah.
Time to play the game.
I was gonna say, and you still haven't played.
Yeah.
5 hours active on YouTube and wikis, and in-game time is 6 hours. You're like,
oh yeah. I've got some games where I'm just sitting there like just racking up time on Steam, and it's like you have played for 200 hours, only 10 of them active. Yay!
Yeah, it's like if you go to my
not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
If you go to my PC client to see how many hours I played Swoga, it's like it's not accurate because I leave it open all the time.
Yeah, that's exactly like mine is. What does mine say at the moment? Mine says 6,089 hours. Oh, and 1 minute. What that 1 minute matters. Yeah.
Yeah, that 1 minute.
Mine is
That's
2,861 hours.
Yeah. So I'm like 3 of you, Garth. Because I literally leave it on all the fucking time.
Yep. It's like,
Yeah, I'm at 23:57. I think we did this last time too.
Good.
a lot. A lot of hours.
Mad Max, the quick time events in the game eventually become a non-issue. Because, like, by the end of the game, you kill everything in a hit, so there's no quick time events.
QuickTime is personal challenges then.
Yes.
Hi, Meathead. Bye, Meathead.
Hi, Meathead. Bye, Meathead. Love you. Thank you for doing the giveaway on Tuesday. Appreciate you. That was me asking permission. Right on. Yeah, indeed. But this is my endorsement of Clear Obscura Expedition 33. Go play it. Go play it, and watch everything you know just melt away, and confusion sets in. So, in a good way, though. In a very good way.
Right. So
Yeah.
back to the era battle.
Oh yeah, era battles! I can't wait to get more rewards because that's what I like. I'll be honest. Have you guys run the numbers on the final tier, getting 2K crystals and 10 mil credits? Does that feel worth like extra R9s?
The question is it's going to be contextual around how what the raid team looks like. If all 4 of those guys are going to be the same raid team and you want to just take those to R9 for the sake of the raid, then if you want to go slam down their 8,000 crystals and income every other week, like,
And
send it.
If you
Send
can
it, boys.
underman it. And
If you can underman it, that's
with
a
them.
whole different story, right? Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
at least it would be
There, now we're talking.
the very least it would be R9 mace, but we don't know how hard the requirements are. If you can underman it with just R9 mace, I'd say definitely 100% go balls deep, right?
I would say.
Well, like with Queen.
Go ahead.
I'll say like with Queenie and the Poncho Bros. You know, you got those 2 to Relic 9 for the
Yeah.
event, and it was worth it to bring her up to Relic 9 just to go in and get the
Yeah,
get the whole thing
definitely.
going. It wasn't easy to the 3-man it over there, but you could usually get a pretty decent.
It was
at
after
least
the
enough,
fix.
score.
Like after the fix is
it
a
was
lot
easier,
easier, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
to be honest as well, like it's a little bit different with this because once this is over, we don't know when, if ever, these era battles are coming
That is
back.
true.
At least with the Poncho
That is
Bros,
true.
you know that's there for life. Every month
Yeah.
we'll
Whoa,
get that.
whoa. We know
We
they're
don't know what the
coming
return
back.
is.
We just don't know what the rotation is.
Well, they said special occasions, which what does that mean? Meathead, what does special occasions mean? Does it come back on
It
my
means-
birthday?
It means they'll probably
What
come
about
back
Smudgy's
around.
birthday?
Yeah.
It'll probably come back around with things like
May the 4th.
like May the 4th or holidays or whatever else.
It'll be like the anniversary of Swigger in November, whenever it is, and May the 4th.
Yeah.
So it's like
which
that-
is fine.
Yeah.
It still means you're getting that investment back. If they want to cram like 5 of those into a week, and you just get to go sim down like
Oh my god.
25 droid
Dude.
brains, like dude.
May the 4th this year was so good, wasn't it? Like when we had the
honestly,
era
God,
battles
if
running
it-
and all of the fucking
Oh my god.
assault battles,
they-
I was just like,
if
oh
they-
my god.
If they do one legacy era battle like a month, let's say they feel really generous and want to do one a month, like
I'll be happy.
that's going to be great return for a lot of people. Is it the same one
Oh,
every
yeah.
month? Probably not. But after a while, it'll be enough to where you've invested and you can take advantage of that, and that's just more free income. Because the way I look at it with the era battles is that they are rewards that are encouraging the spending in the game, because it is now way cheaper to get the marquees unlocked.
That's about a third of the price it used to be, which is pretty huge.
Which is pretty huge. And so you're getting that in, and I like the way Egnard has said it. It's not really ROI with the era battles. It's basically like a rebate on the investment. So it's
Pretty
like
much,
you
yeah.
get some of the things back for taking the characters up. You don't really get like an ROI like what the raid does.
Yeah.
But it's fine, and you can take advantage of it and call it a day. And so
One
I
thing
don't see
that
an issue with them.
One thing I think is actually really good that they did with this next era of this next assault battle, the Crimes Against the Republic has the Gerda keypads the droid brains and the Omicrons on the Relic 7 tier. I think that's brilliant.
But
because
I feel like that's the low key handoff for we made Mace Windu a requirement.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we'll see the exact same thing happen at the end of the next era. The pirate era. Yeah. I think we'll have one assault battle that obviously does not need the journey guide character. Jod, most likely, I'm guessing.
Jod, yeah. We're assuming Jod.
And then the second one will require it, or the last one, sorry, will require Jod, right? And that will use the same structure. But I think it's great because the people that invest in the characters but don't necessarily have the chutzpah to go, oh, I can R9, maybe they can only take it to R5. Maybe if they can go, oh, look, but if I get it to R7, I can actually get the mats I need to start getting some more R9s. Because that's what CG needs to do, is they need to give people a little bit more ways of getting a decent amount of Relic 9 mats on top of things. And the fact that you don't need an R9 to get those R9 mats, I think is really good. So I'm happy to see that part of it, at least. Even if it is still a very expensive investment. So
still locked behind 6 marquees at R5.
Yeah, it's only 6 marquees at R5. That's child's play.
Now the only
but still, that's a pretty good return on investment, though. You know, that's wouldn't be like a rebate. That would be more like an actual return on that investment. So I mean, that's still not that's still pretty solid.
It's nice.
But
the only thing that I could see that if CG really wanted to have to dig themselves out of the hole with Mace's release being required for the era battle is to have him permanently available upon release.
That would help with the raid as well, wouldn't it?
It would, especially, and the only reason I caveat that with that,
they're doing that.
I don't think they are either. But
they didn't do it with Jar Jar.
Well, but this is the difference, though. When the raid launched with the Gungans, everything else was in the game and available to farm and get a hold on.
Mm-hmm.
We know that like a large portion of a faction won't be available in the game when the next raid goes live. So that's kind of where I'm like, if you wanted to kind of smooth things over with the community, be like, well, here's Mace's event is permanently available, guys. Here you go. Enjoy. Like, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, I feel like I don't really think it's gonna go that way. But
I have had people in my comments, because I did a video on it a couple of days back, actually, on the era battle stuff. And I had people in my comments actually assuming that Mace was going to be a permanent journey guide character, just because, like, I'm on your side, Wolfie. Just because the you know, the timeline that they gave, that was like, oh, marquee, era battle, marquee, era battle, marquee, era battle, and at the end it was like Mace Windu, and then it went into the pirate faction. They were like, yeah, but it says journey guide Mace Windu. I was like, I don't think that means he's going permanent, guys. He's probably just going to be there for that week, and then toodle pip, ta-ra, see you in 3 months. And people are like, no, that's not what they're saying at all. So, I mean, we haven't had confirmation either way, but I still think he'll be a recurring thing.
Fun fact. If CG does not explicitly say something, always assume worst possible outcome.
Like, was the only permanent ones like Afra, Starkiller, like those ones I think were the only
GLs.
permanent ones. And the GLs.
Yeah.
Was BAM permanent?
Yes. Yeah, BAM was.
Released.
Yeah. And BAM was such a weird anomaly, man. Because BAM was permanent in the journey guide immediately and was really easy to unlock.
Yeah, it was like low gear unlocks was fine.
I'm not sure why they did it, but it was amazing. It was like, oh, cool.
Well, it's because Razor Crest was coming out, and they.
Maybe it was because of Razor Quest. Yeah.
Well, there was a conquest unit that you couldn't activate without the pilot. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Plus, you know, Mando is a bit of a fan favorite as well, so there is that. Maybe people are like, I need Mando. So
also, the event was quite good.
The event, I played through it recently, actually. On my free-to-play account, I played through it recently. I was like, damn, this is actually a really good event. Like, the cinematics, the story, the actual every tier of the event is actually pretty damn good. I was like, good job, CG. Good job, little buddy.
We're not asking for much, you know, just a little extra little things here and there, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
We want a little bit more effort and a little less of Balin's event. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. More BAM, less Balin would be good. But I mean, Glatz was okay as well.
Glatz was okay.
JKL's one was good. Yeah. JKL's one was good.
Like, I get it, but yeah, Balin was Balin's event was bad. Just cinematically, it was just like, we're gonna do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah. Bo-Katan Mando was monthly. Bo-Katan Mando is another complete anomaly. She just came back every month for some reason. It was really weird.
She was a weird one.
She was just like,
They've
hello,
never
I'm
had
here.
another one like that.
Nope. I think it was funny because it almost felt like they really, really wanted it to come out before Christmas. And then they were like, you know what, guys, we're just going to leave it go every month. It's just like the 6th of each month. There's the Bo-Katan Mandalore event. Like,
the 10th,
I remember
the 10th of each month.
The 10th, right. I knew it was something.
I remember that threw me off so bad because I was like, is this like a new style they're going with? Are they testing out something else? Or are they just going like throwing everything against the wall? I was like, what is CG smoking? What is going on? And then
Everything that we know is undone.
He was literally just trying to screw with all the Reddit trolls by being like, it's a most expensive paywall character. Nothing's in shipments yet. We can't get it. Everyone's gonna miss out on this.
Oh god,
for,
I was so pissed.
The next like 4 months, and then like literally 3 weeks later, the event's back, and everyone's like.
And then everybody's tone changed from it's never coming back ever again. They released it early to why does it keep coming back so frequently? I wouldn't have wailed on shards.
Exactly.
Why is it back so? Also, why is it back so soon? I missed packs. I would have gotten these packs again the second time. Now I'm missing out again. So it was like a double.
That was definitely me, Wolfie. That was me. Yeah. Because I was like, I didn't wail on the weekly shipments for character shards of Keller and Beck. Because I was like, there's no way she's coming back in 3 months. I can wait. And it came back the next month. I was like, fuck you guys.
It was worth it.
Plan.
I swear they were just trolling me at that point. They were just like, fuck this guy.
100%. 100%.
Probably the way to go.
Oh my god. So I don't know if Dave listens to Tribe Talks at home, but today I received my bottle of Old Putney 12-year-old whiskey, and it's going down quite nicely. I'll say that. It's quite nice. It's got
Like
quite a harsh
fat
smell.
kid on a seesaw?
And at a cake factory, yeah.
There you go.
God, I'm now going to get cancelled for being like fattest. Fattest, is that a thing? Obesist.
No.
Diabetes.
I don't think that's the thing.
Oh, okay. Good.
I mean, listen, those
although
whales
you are
still
English,
out
so
at
you
sea.
can make or British, sorry, so you can make up words. So
We can make up words. In fact, and this might blow your mind, Wolfie, every word is made up.
all words are made up.
That is fucking mind-blowing, isn't it? It's like, you just made that up. Everything's made up. Every word.
Right. Did I get? Because people call me out for that sometimes, and I'm just like, but you understood what I meant, right? And they're like, yeah. I was like,
Shut
okay,
up.
so what's the problem? Isn't that the point of language for me to express my intent and to communicate?
Puts on glasses.
Did I communicate effectively?
Actually.
Did I communicate effectively? All right, cool. Well, who cares if I made up the word?
You understood. Now leave me alone.
So Grack over here says I should start calling Wolfie Mush, and I think that's funny on 2 levels, right? Because there's the husky dogs, and you can say mush for, like riding around on a husky sled. But also in Wales, calling someone mush is like saying mate or buddy. You say, all right, mush, how you doing?
Why change a 4-letter word for a 4-letter word with the same start?
Because it's a term of endearment. It's a term of endearment, pal. We also call each other butt, so, that's also a term of endearment.
Yeah.
But that's not for your ass
why can
crack. All right?
Why am I
That's
calling
for
you
buddy.
bro instead of dude, instead of man, instead of mate, instead of butt?
Exactly. Why not mush? Exactly.
Instead of mush.
How's it going, mush? You all right? Or mucker. Mucker is another one. Hi, mucker.
I'm not your mucker, pal.
I'm not your mucker, mush.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not your mush, mucker.
Just feel like somebody was just trying to find a way to get around saying the F word. And they're like, we'll put other things in front of it.
It's fine. This is Tribe Talks. You can say the F word. You can also
is
say the
okay.
see you
Language
next Tuesday word, which is cunt.
Oh.
We can say that. No, say it from your boots as well. That's the way that's really satisfying. So we were talking about something.
2 problems. I'm not wearing boots, and my feet are currently up.
Oh damn.
I feel
I got a little Dude, I got a little fucking desk hammock thing, so it just like has a,
Oh, no
like, a
way.
piece of fabric which goes like underneath the desk. So I'm just sitting here lounging and whatnot.
That sounds great. The thing is, when I do
it's
that,
actually awesome.
I have a tendency to have my ankles crossed over at the
I
end.
currently am doing that right
Yeah,
now.
but the problem is, if I do that for too long, I get pins and needles. Like it cuts off the
So
blood
you just,
supply.
like, switch to the cross the other way.
Yeah, but then you do it and you're like, too long. Ha! And the sensation starts flooding back to your extremities. Yeah, it's a wild trip. It's a wild trip, but that does sound amazing. Like a little foot hammock. That sounds great.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, brilliant. So,
I got it like 2 years ago,
subtitles.
fucking under the desk hammock. It's amazing. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's
So,
all good.
Battles,
Vanguard.
Nightfall, something, Vanguard.
Yeah.
Jedi Vanguard. Yeah.
Swiggo.
Swigger
Vanguard.
stuff. This Galaxy of
putting
Heroes podcast. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Putting up,
At least adjacent too. I've entered us into the Gungies, by the way. So just so you know, the Gungies annual, what do we call it? The Oscars of Galaxy of Heroes content creators ran by Egnards.
I was not informed about that last year and had a charity event while that was happening. So.
Well, make sure you put yourself forward this
charity
time.
Event went well.
So, well, I'm glad the charity event went well. But as part of my submission form that says, are you part of a podcast? And I was like, why? Yes, I am. So I've put forward the Tribe Talks as our podcast for accolades unknown. I think we might get some mild recognition, or maybe nobody will vote for us and we'll suck. But you people listening at home, in like 6 months' time, either way, I'm celebrating like we won.
Mostly, I don't know. I feel like the last time it was mostly like Redditors and stuff, and not as much of the Twitch community. So I don't know.
Well, we'll find out.
Might get something, might get nothing, but
Wolfie, you never know.
what it felt
Tribe
like.
Talks might have a massive following on Reddit that we just don't know about because I don't go on Reddit.
We would be
Neither do
getting
I.
blown up so
I mean,
I-
I love Reddit. It's a great community.
I will go on Reddit every once in a while, just like searching for stuff, because
Yeah.
it is a pretty good reference. When you need to look shit up, don't use the Reddit search function. The Reddit search function sucks ass. Like go through Google, but you can find some really good information on Reddit. So I use it for that. But I haven't actually been on Reddit in a while.
Yeah.
On
no.
Reddit,
No. Honestly, I usually use Reddit for advice, truth be told. It's like, hey, what's a really good frying pan? And I'll put Reddit at the end of my Google search, and then there's usually actual... Because if you search for... I'm using frying pan as a substitute for really good porn. If you search for what's a really good frying pan, right, you'll just have like these sponsored pages of bestfryingpans.com, top 10 frying pans of 2025, and it'll all be bollocks. But if you put Reddit at the end of it, it'll be actual people talking about really good frying pans. So, is what it is. That's my pro tip of the day. Scribble's pro tip of the day. Put Reddit at the end of your search requests and you'll find people that actually use stuff instead of paid reviews.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really fucking frustrating. We Google for something and the first 5 things are all sponsored.
It's
sponsored.
fucking
What the fuck is this shit?
I completely agree, but I'm also really happy that Google at least is transparent with the fact that it's sponsored. So as soon as I see that sponsored, I just ignore it. I'm just like, fuck you.
I'm just extra confused when I see there are some times where I'll see a sponsored link and then directly below it will be the exact same link to the exact same website. It's just not the sponsor one. It's like, you were already at the top. Why are you just double dipping? This is excessive. Come on. And then I will actually go out of my way to not click on the sponsored link.
I'll do it out of spite.
Their algorithmic bullshit. Exactly, out of spite.
Exactly.
Fuck your algorithms. Fuck your sponsored bullshit. I'm not doing it. No.
Yeah.
I'm clicking the regular link.
I want to lower Google's metrics for sponsored click-through rate so that they can reduce their rates of sponsorship fees for people that want to try and get their shit pimped. All right?
Precisely.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Fuck
beat
those
the
guys.
system
I mean,
from within.
I love you, Google
that works.
and YouTube. Please don't get rid of my AdSense payments. I need that. And thank you everybody at home that's listening on YouTube for hitting that like button and subscribe.
And
Good.
subscribe.
Good. So, were we trying to talk about Temple Vanguard, Jedi Vanguard.
Oh, yeah, we
yes.
got a kit. We got an actual kit instead of just a freaking picture like last time. Last time we just had it was a fine picture. But.
It was a fine picture, but I felt completely cock-blocked. I'll be honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah. A little tease, a little blue balled.
Oh, yeah, got a little bit blue balled, and normally I'm okay with that sort of behavior, but the payoff took a week, and I'm not that hard of an edgelord. Do you know what I mean? It's it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm trying to find that kit because I can't remember what he does. He does stuff. I think he's a tank. He's got loads of crit avoidance.
Tanky things. And like pre-taunts, I think. And...
Yeah, he does. And he likes crit avoidance. Because crit avoidance gives more stats and stuff. Uh-oh, I've lost you.
Carther and Traptalk's chat.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Love you long time.
Here for you, boo.
Mm-hmm. I know. So, yeah, opinions. I mean, it's really hard to have opinions about, like, 1/4 of a full team, isn't it? But
we haven't seen Depot, we haven't seen Mace, we don't really really know what's going on with them yet. And we've got, what do you call it, the librarian already.
Jocasta
like
who?
Said,
Yeah.
Jocasta what? But yeah, like you said, it's 1/4 of a team. We only have the other one, or sorry, 1/5 of a team. We only have Jocasta right now. We don't know what Mace is going to be like. We don't know what Dep is going to be like. We don't know who the 5th is going to be on the team.
Yeah, it's probably
another thing. Any guesses on the 5th?
Car thinks it's Lumi.
I mean,
no, did you not
yeah,
watch Calvin's
no, I watched
video?
Calvin's video.
Wait a minute, you watch other YouTubers? Fuck you guys!
Yeah.
God damn, what did Calvin say? Not even I watch other YouTubers.
Rant.
He's
He had a whole rant about Lumi. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the whole rant.
Oh, is there protection up in Vanguard?
Yeah. Temple Guard. He's got protection up.
Oh, damn.
All we had to do, all we had to say was just like, Lumi doesn't work, and it's just like, I had a rant about Lumi, and Scrap was just like, oh, there's protection up, isn't there? Yes. Because so many we all know, so many teams that she would go on. They keep releasing awesome characters, and they all have protection up mechanics, which completely negate her entire Omicron. And it's just, it's
you
crazy,
wait, we'll get Mace. We'll get Mace's kit, and they'll say we've reworked Luminara's Omicron. if Mace Windu is in the leadership.
To be honest, though, if they were gonna redo her Omicron, it would be to go on any other team besides Mace, because there's no reason for it to be on Mace if they're gonna touch it up.
I'd touch you up.
I know you would, but you already have 3 GAC Amis with Jocasta, and then Jedi Vanguard has got another Omicron for GAC. So it's like, I don't think they would do a 5th Omicron.
We're assuming Mace is TW, right?
Well, yeah, it's going to be a triple Ami TW more than likely. It's actually kind of interesting they're doing double. They're doubling up on that release because Shmi is also.
He's GAC.
TW.
Oh, is it?
Nope.
Oh.
TW.
Okay.
John will probably be GAC.
Yeah, I like how everybody is fucking locked in on Jod being the legendary. Like, we've all agreed.
If they release Smee, I mean, how do they not release Jod? I mean, come on.
It's got to happen.
But I mean, it's Skeleton Crew. Who else are they releasing from that's gonna be anything other than a Journey Guide character?
Yeah.
Unless they release like the 4 kids as a large unit.
Yeah,
I am pretty confident the kids aren't.
They're all in a trench coat. Yeah, I don't think we get the kids. I don't like
it's definitely not happening.
If we get a season 2 of Skeleton Crew, which by the way I would be totally down for, and the kids are by that point teenagers.
It was great.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable. It was a fun show.
It was a ton of fun.
Or however old Omega is, so that we can use her.
Well, wasn't Omega like 12 when we've got the first Omega?
Apparently, that's the threshold.
That's the even
kids in the game.
Even Disney has limits.
Mission is also incredibly young. Also,
she's
Ahsoka
14,
Tano
15?
is like Ahsoka Tano was like 14, something like that, when she first was a Padawan. So they have had some younglings, we'll say, in game, in combat roles and everything. But I think that's sort of like the delineation. Like if they are actually active in combat roles in like the show and everything, then they're more comfortable with making that actually happen. You know, the kids like is more of a Goonies in space and they're trying to run away from stuff. They're never like actively in combat. Aside from, some,
and usually when they are in fights, they're also pretty terrible. And
I mean,
they
they
usually
could
have to
be
get
as,
saved
like,
by
a-
Smee.
Yeah, they could be as like crew members for the ship.
Yeah.
If they ended up getting released, but I highly doubt that's gonna happen.
So, Trodat, I don't think we get Keller and Beck as the 5th for that squad because he's already a leader for another Jedi faction, and it would feel kind of shitty if they just completely dismantled his team. I don't know. Maybe they will, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
It depends on what
His unique is pretty solid, right?
Well, his unique is only for him if he's not in the leader, though.
That's what I mean. If he's not in the leadership, no, isn't that? I mean, like the
Padawan's lessons you're talking about.
no, his like tenacity up conversion, whatever thing, right? The thing was meant to fuck with Bad Batch team. Am I going crazy?
Oh, the heal immunity
Yeah.
portion of it. Yeah. I mean, it could, but I feel like OG Bad Batch is not going to be gunning against this team.
Yeah, if there's no Allied Galactic Legends, then he's got a lot of whenever they're inflicted with heal immunity, they gain protection up. I mean, that's not just anti-Bad Batch. That's like a good amount of extra stuff in there for Galactic Republic Jedis. So.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's one of those things where I don't know if they're going to go down the road of trying to separate the team, because the whole reason he initially came out was to basically support Qui-Gon. And I don't.
Well, let's be real. When it comes down to it, we're gonna power crunch all these teams and power. Put as much
consolidate.
as we can possible. Yeah, consolidate exactly. Consolidate that power and make the most the most badass team we possibly can. Because as it is, you can put every single one of your Galactic Legends on defense except for one of them, and still very easily clear, as Scribe has.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It can be a real pain in the
And
butt.
and you can do it drunk. I have discovered. Now we did drop battles, but it's still a full clear. Damn it.
Like we've gotten to that point within the power creep and everything that you can place all that shit on defense and still be able to clear. So the Mace Windu team is not going to be, can we split this into 2 teams? It's going to be what is the best of the best of the best, with honors.
For the faction tag, yeah.
that we can make.
And the reality is what's the role that you need to fill, because Jocasta and Mace likely is going to be an attacker. Jocasta's already an attacker. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, do you need a 3rd attacker on that team?
Yeah, why not? Just make
useful?
it CLS version 2.0. Just loads of attackers.
End up being a healer or a support will be your option. So Shakti, Barris, Lumi, those are all options.
Barris, yeah.
It's okay. The conquest unit after Smee will just be a Jedi Vanguard. That's another attacker that's designed to work with Mace.
The conquest unit after Shmi will probably either be a ship or Imperial Remnant.
Oh, can it please be a ship? Can it please be a ship?
We haven't had ships in a minute.
I just want a new fleet.
I'm just tired of the Leviathan meta.
I want a new fleet. I don't like dropping to 15th in Fleet Arena anymore. I want to stay in the top 5.
I want a new fleet, and I want a new ship I want a new marquee for the Profundity. Okay,
and I want it to have racing stripes down the middle of it. Okay, because it's really fast.
In honor of Andor, can they please give us the Rogue One? Like, please.
Or the Fondor. I'll take either.
Or the Fondor. Both of them. Yes, please.
I'm totally going to call that ship the Fondler.
The Fondler.
Yeah, the Fondler. Mm-hmm. Yep. Fondling these nuts.
I mean, we don't know what Luthen did on that job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of like the ship of that guy from Thor Ragnarok who used to have orgies on his ship. It's the Fondler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Will Jod be a Jedi? No, Trodat.
No.
He'll probably be an unaligned Force user. Dark side pirate.
They might give him Ufu. It would be have to be a nod like that.
A nod
that might
to
be
Jod.
A bit of a stretch.
Well, he clearly is Force sensitive. He clearly is Force sensitive.
Well,
his connection to the Force is obviously tenuous, but probably because of his actions more than anything. He's not embracing that side of things anymore, is he?
It's tenuous, so I more see that on the line of like Farm Boy Luke.
Yeah, I honestly don't.
I think that's different though, because Farm Boy Luke had no training.
Yeah, I mean he had like Obi-Wan with a little bit, but like not really.
Yeah.
Like not like actual training.
Yeah, I don't think they give him the Ufu tag just for the sake of keeping him faction contained. Because
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
The last thing Seer needs is another Ufu to go just ham with.
No, that's exactly what she needs. I want to have I want Seer to be the new Lord Vader, where it's just like every conquest unit that comes out.
He already is.
She's got Maul, she's got Malakos, Starkiller. We need one more, damn it. We need one more.
If Starkiller actually worked with Seer in 5v5s, that'd be hilarious. But like, you give Seer the Maul right now, and that'll punch through more GLs than Lord Vader did with Maul, which is really sad.
I love that team. Like,
really sad.
That team is like just the combination of Maul using Seething Rage and watching Malakos just casually fucking destroy everything. It's just like special and assist and assist and assist, and you're like, oh my god, he does so much damage.
Especially if you can get the like hitting under protection off their post over there, and he just goes and like absolutely fucking wrecks everyone. That's it's insane.
It's such a fun team.
Absolutely insane.
Like that team definitely needs like an unaligned Force user Jod to just really pump it over the edge.
That team just needs a Star Killer type character that just, pops all the stupid crit hit immunity off of everybody and then just lets Malakos destroy
at the start of this character's turn, dispel all buffs on the enemy. Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah, sounds great. I like it.
That is the biggest thing the team is missing, just an AoE buff dispel.
Yeah, well, that's why Star Killer with Seer and Malakos and Freeze is so powerful. Just like, boop, everything's gone, and just go ham.
It's such a good team. That's probably my favorite team.
Already, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, but, he can't be evaded now.
Yeah,
but you do want to get rid of crit hit immunity because he does want to crit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that is absolutely for sure. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah. So we've decided. We've all agreed. Then Jod is an online Force user and he's to go and see his team. Fantastic.
Yep, sounds good. Make it happen.
Yeah, fuck the pirate team.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen, guys. It's not gonna happen.
No, it's not happening. It'd be funny as hell, but it's not happening.
I'm sure Meathead is still lurking in the chat. Somebody's going, oh shit, write that down. Make sure there is no synergy there.
Yeah, no shit. But
they have been good about that, trying to contain things and limit things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hence the Jedi Vanguard tag, right? The whole reason for it to exist is to basically power contain.
Are you saying we don't need more Galactic Republic Jedi?
I mean, like, I don't hate it, but it's just like there are so many Galactic Republic teams now that are like vying for the same like 4 characters because of just how the tags work.
You can basically set an entire wall in 5v5 GAC defense of Galactic Republic.
Yeah, you can.
Like, I got Queen Amidala and JMK and
I
Gas.
Kind of wish, man. I wish the OG Padme team still had any form of viability behind.
I genuinely thought that's where they were going with instead of pirates. I thought we were going to get more Galactic Republic, like to elevate Padme. I thought that's what they were going to do, but no.
That would be fun.
Pirates, yeah. Make Padme great for once.
She was great when everyone was reworked to work for her, and then Kenobi came out, and then
everybody just started taking all of her characters. Kenobi came out, and then Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron happened, and you're like, well, you can't have Anakin.
Well, but Padme basically lives with Kenobi anyways for the sake of the Master. Like only Datacron metas have even pulled her away.
Oh, do you remember her fucking Datacron? That was horrendous. Oh, God.
Yes, I do.
Under JMK with the 1 damage. Oh.
Yeah.
The 1 damage out of... Fuck. Yeah. That was awful. I hated that Datacron so much.
That was so bad.
It was just such a boring thing to face, wasn't it? It just took ages.
Exactly right. It was just incredibly dull.
I mean, a mirror match.
Incredible. It was like... It was like the JKR mirror matches where you're
sitting
there like 4 minutes, 50 seconds, like, God damn it! Like, that was what it felt like.
Just die already. Okay, thank
you. Yes.
Yeah, let's not go back to that.
Reminded me of.
Yeah. Although side note, we are, guys, we're not completely ADHD. We are actually talking about Jedi Vanguard because on Jedi Vanguard's level 9 level 15 in his FDC, because he does have one, he's got courage. You see that segue from Padme back to Jedi Vanguard Temple Guard guy?
I see that. So they're
He
doing like
gets
percentage health
courage.
damage.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
No.
But it's there. It's something.
Is it? I think it's
a
like
nice little
every
extra
time.
bonus.
Every time they use a special, they gain a stack of courage. Is it 5 stacks of courage converts into 20%
5
max
stacks.
health damage
Yeah,
or something?
It's 20%. Yeah, exactly.
40%. Wow, that's a
40%,
lot.
yeah.
That's a lot.
But it's the 5 stacks is the conversion. So yeah.
Yeah. So
It'll
still
take
be
a little while to,
completely
like, do
useless against
something, but-
GLs, but yeah.
Yeah.
Fun though.
It could be interesting. You know.
Yeah.
Could add a little extra bonus on there. See if it stacks up. See if it does something.
Well, you never
a
know.
little extra.
Maybe either Balls Deeper Balaba or Jedi Master Mace Windu is going to have some form of courage in their kits, and it's going to get.
That is a
Man,
good call.
does that team even need that though? Like Jesus Christ, with how hard Jocasta can hit already.
Yes, they do need that. They need that
Without a legendary leader on
because
the team, that's also
Jocasta
gonna be
doesn't
an
do
attacker.
shit right now.
Clearly, they need that.
Clearly, yeah, you're right. My bad.
If she can't even
know
whip
what I'm
out her
talking
gun,
about.
she ain't doing
Silly.
shit.
Oh my god, I actually did a Keller and Beck team with her with full Jedi Vanguard.
So did I,
for
actually.
5v5
Oh, no.
on offense.
Oh right, okay.
And,
Nothing
and
happened.
literally, the entire battle went to hell.
Of course, yes.
Because everyone died except for her, but she got to her blaster form and then deleted the enemy.
Oh really? I thought you were going to say, and she did nothing.
No. She was the only. The reason why it went to hell is because there was no other damage on the team.
Yeah.
And so it was Shakti, Barris, Lumi, Keller, and Beck lead, and then.
Oh yeah,
and
so
then
literally no
Costa.
damage. To be fair,
damage.
there is no damage on that faction at all, apart from
Well,
her,
because
right now.
because you can't take Cam or Jedi Anakin because they aren't Jedi Vanguard.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like you're
So
making a
they-
really good argument for Mace to be an attacker.
Hey, that would be a great idea, Wolfie.
That would
We
be
should
a
do
great
that.
idea.
Making
And
a
maybe-
really good case.
Yeah.
Maybe
It was
give him
just
courage
funny.
as well
Oh
for
my
like
God.
extra damage. So yeah,
would be
we've
funny.
decided. So you've heard it here first, guys. Courage is going to be baked into either Balls Deeper Balaba, because that's going to be her name. I will make dick jokes about any character that I can, and the Fondlaw and Balls Deeper, and Jedi
Naturally.
Master Mace. Yeah, there'll be some courage there somewhere. Maybe there'll be some courage. I think there will, because specials giving 1 stack of courage when you need 5 stacks of courage to do 40% damage, it just doesn't feel like a lot. So it's like, yeah, they need a little bit more juice.
I'll tell you what though, with Jedi Vanguard,
Yep.
it almost feels bad that we are getting a budget cat.
We're getting a budget cat.
What?
Yeah, because the Omicron in GAC, Galactic Republic Jedi's gain 50% defense, offense, and potency. If
Oh, that's
they were
cat,
Jedi Vanguard, they get doubled.
Oh yeah,
doubled,
100%. Yeah, that is actually really sexy. That is
That's
sexy.
so huge. That is
Yeah.
so huge. It's like we're just gonna slap down like two of the two very important stats and just be like, how about 100% increase? GG.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, is it the Padawan Sabine Wren TW Omicron? That does the
Yeah.
same sort of thing, right? Just 100% stats, go.
Is that one or is that the Hera one?
I can't remember. I think it was the Sabine one.
No,
I think it's the Hera one.
Sabine's the one that gives the stats. Hera
Sabine gives the stats? I thought Hera gives the stats.
I can't remember.
Speed. I don't know. They give lots of stuff, and it's a hell of a team. in
So,
GW.
somebody in that faction gives 100% stats, and it's good.
No, that's Sabine because it's she gives it to Mandalorian allies, and if they're Spectre, it's doubled.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So she's doing that, but for GAC. So I'm excited. That's definitely. I'm applying that Omicron.
Yeah,
Is what that is.
General Syndulla gives them counter chance.
Oh, it's the count chance and potency. Okay, 100% count chance and potency. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
100% defense, offense, and potency. That is a lot, to be fair. They're loving giving us massive stacks of defense at the moment, aren't they? They've kind of got a thing
Yes.
for defense right now.
Well, you remember from a long time ago when they told us that they got rid of all the 100% defense pen or the ignoring defense clauses because
it fucks the game.
Guilds. Yeah. So 4 years later, we're finally putting defense back in the game.
That's like when I tell the missus I'll take the trash out. It's like, yeah, I'll get to it.
They're also giving us more like true damage sources. They're also giving us more like courage and percentage health damage sources. So I mean, they're also giving us like a lot more of that sort of stuff.
I do like that though, because that stuff can still be mitigated, right? Like percentile health damage. There's loads of characters that take reduced damage from percentile health effects and shit like that. So you know, true damage is nifty.
It feels more strategic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I like the wombo combo. Like Malgus. It's where you deal true damage based off your max health.
Yes. So that's the best of both. It's percentile health that you can't lower. Unless you're a GL, and then you still take 30% less, but that's fine. That's a GL.
Yeah, but that's it. You don't.
However,
yeah.
However, you can lower his max health.
Exactly. Great mothers.
Great mothers.
And he still beats her.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, the fall off of Great. What I like about the fall off about Great Mothers is that she is now proving to be more and more beneficial on offense, and that's cool.
The fall off. You mean when her Datacron went away?
Yeah, when her Datacron, and fucking may that Datacron burn in the fires of hell. That was the epitome of the stupidest Datacron we've ever seen, because that was a case of there's 2 counters. They might work. If they don't, you're fucked.
You lose.
I don't even remember the details, but I remember there was like 2 fucking counters, and like you said, if either of those failed, you were just sort of screwed, and you would just be like twiddling your thumb, saying, "Okay, I guess
I might be." I might be exaggerating it, but it was basically if you attack out a turn, we recover all of our health and protection on the entire team. Don't do it. Also, we're going to gain retribution because we do. We just decide.
Were they also, like immune to insta kills or something? No, that was TW.
No.
She was immune to insta kills.
Yeah, TW Army, I think.
TW Army for Great Mothers.
Yeah.
So in GAC, it was JMK and Slacker Night Sisters, which was the counter to her.
Okay.
And then in TW, I think it was just Slacker. Because in GAC, you could instantly defeat Great Mothers with the leap.
With JMK, I think JMK still worked in TW. You just had to be a lot more like careful about it. And it took a lot longer. Well, you couldn't defeat Great Mothers or the last person.
Oh yeah, the Plocron.
Plocron.
To defeat the Crons, we must use the Crons. Yeah, that's the motto.
I mean,
I'm cursed to use the tools of my enemies to defeat them.
Exactly. Yes.
That's why I do like with the FDC coming through on the.
I can't wait till either of you get that fucking quote. Or Scribe gets that fucking quote. Sorry, mainly.
No, I refuse.
I just like that we're doing the FDCs now for these characters, the marquee releases and everything else, because I don't. That was a thing that people argued with Great Mother's Cron. They're like, oh well, everybody gets whoever gets the character gets the Cron, and they end up just fighting themselves, so it's the same, right? And I'm like, but it's not. If
you've got, the secondary stats.
If you got 200% offense on your Great Mother's Cron, it was damn near unbeatable.
Dude.
Oh yeah. Watching Spirit take a turn and hit you for 250,000 damage. You're like, oh, okay, and then it gains 25% turn meter and foresight, and you miss it, and it takes another turn, and then kills another person. You're like, oh well, fuck me. Okay, so Slacker just got 2-tapped by Spirit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when the offense was so high that Zombie couldn't retaunt in between Spirit's, like basics and would kill the board. It's just like, well, that's all right. Well, I'll just.
That's fine. That's fine. So I swear this counter normally works. Yes, it does work, but they just one-tapped your Galactic Legend. Okay, what do you mean that 8-year-old's character just one-tapped? That 8-year-old, not even legendary standard character, he's one-tapped the GL. Okay, yeah, fine. Good. This is normal.
I'm definitely more inclined. I'm more happy with like the focused Datacron stuff, where the stats, while they can be insane, they are fixed, and they're not
exactly.
One person gets all the 400% armor pen and 200% offense because fuck you, and somebody else gets like, you got 30% health. Yay! Like the disparity in some of those rolls was crazy. I remember I got like my Great Mother's Cron. I got it was a JML cron. Like it was all protection. Like it was. I really thought about using that with JML just because it had so much freaking protection on it, and it just has 0% offense or armor pen or anything useful over there. But I saw people with like all the armor pen, all the damage, all the everything, and it's just like, well, must be nice. And you can't even roll it. So
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the focus datacrons.
Yeah, they're an improvement. They are.
Yeah.
They'll be better for players because everyone gets the same thing, and I feel like that makes those kind of things much more static, especially if you're gonna allow for those ungodly stat rolls. Like if they were like they did with Apo's Kron was limited to the same stat pool as the set that released, so there wasn't a way to get absurd stats with it. That was like at least the compromise I wanted. The FDC is actually I think a far better way of going because it's now like if you invest in the character, everybody gets the same toy. All right, cool.
Yeah, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think overall that ends up working out a lot better. And it feels really shitty when your entire GAC comes down to, oh, my opponent had this insane datacron, and now my counter doesn't work anymore. And alternately, it feels really shitty when you just win all your GACs because it's like, oh, I have this insane datacron, and my opponent can't clear it. So it takes the skill, it takes the strategy, it takes like a lot of the interesting stuff out of out of it, and just like getting lucky on the focus datacron just feels like, antithetical towards like the competitiveness of the game and like the GAC-ness and everything. So, what's up, Scrabble?
Hey, what's going on? What the hell did I miss?
We're talking about how crazy stat rolls is like anti-competitive because you can just get insanely crazy stat rolls and just kind of win, and every GAC just comes down to that.
I know some people like to say, stuff like datacrons. It's all luck, sort of thing. Like, do you happen to roll the 6s, the 3s, and the 9s, and do you get the good, stat bonuses? That's one thing, but the FDCs were just not the FDC, sorry. The bespoke datacrons were so much worse because there's no way to manipulate that. You either get it or you don't. like no way can you. There's no second chances on that shit. So I had some shitty ones. I think my Balin one had shitty secondary stats, but my great mother's one was pretty good. It had like 200% offense.
I love that the Balin Cron for most players lived on another team.
Yeah. It was good though.
I was saying my great mother's had all protection, so it was not a very good great mother's cron.
So it's a JML cron. No, it was still really good without the stats. To be fair,
it feels bad.
Yeah.
But it could have been
big
better.
Difference.
That's the part.
I could have been a contender.
I could have been a contender. Damn it, Wolfie.
Man, but Jedi Vanguard's got some really.
Oh, we're still on Vanguard, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're still on Vanguard. We could easily move over to the FDCs and the Datacrons for this set. There's not a lot to go on with.
We are
with
transitioning
Vanguard.
a little bit into that. So
yeah. Let's do it. That was a seamless segue. People will think we're professional or something. So speaking of FDCs, guys,
just cut this section out of it so they don't like hear us talking about being professionals.
Yeah. Nobody needs to do that.
And cut it back in.
And scene.
So FDCs.
Yeah.
So FDCs, right?
So Temple Guard's not the only one that got one. There are 4 others that are going to be coming out on Tuesday.
Yeah, fucking give Goth Mommy Ray an FDC and watch the world burn. It's fucking bonus turn on Ray.
You can see
double
them
damage
in
bonus
game
turn.
now.
Yeah.
So real quick, go to the events tab, go to Twilight of the Jedi marquee event, click on rewards, and check out the Focus Datacron over there. If you press the I button for information, you can look at all the different ones for Director Krennic, Hermit Yoda, Rey, Darkside Vision, and Chief Nebbit. So cute.
We'll get to the Chief Nebbit one. Should we talk about like what I consider to be the better two, which is like the should we say traditionally better two of Darkside Vision Rey and Hermit Yoda? Do you guys want to fondle the juice on that one for a bit?
We'll fondle Rey's first because I just feel like with her,
I love a good fondle.
Yeah.
Somehow this made it through somebody's like, is this gonna be overpowered check? And they're like,
Right?
Yeah,
no,
it'll be
it's gonna
fine.
be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. Like, the trooper just ramps his own crit damage, defense, penetration, and offense, and
Yep.
then the entire faction ramps crit damage, and then you give them basically ramping offense and speed for when you eventually get around to killing people, and then you
Ray's
give
just going to revive them anyway because she takes bonus turns.
But then you
Dealing
give,
double
you give
damage.
Give Ray and Sith Trooper the ability to inflict doubt on everybody if you try to knock them out first. And then Ray's just like, you take a turn, I take a turn, you take a turn, and then she gets 100% bonus damage on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think of how powerful that bonus turn thing has been in the past. Like the characters that have gotten that in the past.
Dash?
Something like Dash. Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember
right.
that,
Dash
Kron?
got the bonus turn thing. It was so fucking good. Now imagine that, like,
and that was just Dash.
Exactly. And we're talking about Dash over here compared to a fucking GL lifter, which is now like one of the best teams in the game. She is now getting the bonus turns. That's crazy.
So I think now is
crazy.
actually the time that we put to bed the discussion on the modding for Ray. Maybe now it is time to mod her for offense.
All offense, no speed, all of the damage. Just, if you get this
offense and bulk, that's all you want.
Fucking crazy.
Don't forget, if she kills a unit, anybody that has defeated one of yours, she will revive.
But then,
Yeah.
you double down on this all too.
Yeah.
The stats
It's
for the
amazing.
set. The stats for the set are 150% defense, 140% crit damage, and 60%
God.
potency.
Crit. Now, let's be fair. Slacker teams don't crit. It's
Yeah,
not like
they
they've
don't
got
have advantage ever.
they don't have perpetual
yeah.
advantage, do they? So you know.
Oh yeah, never
never.
happens.
Yeah.
What are you
Never
even talking about?
Exactly. That team is going to be the team right now. Like, I feel that team's going to walk Lord Vader, but if you can find a way to put that and Lord Vader on defense with dark side clones, that's the way.
You know, Scribe. That
Yeah.
sounds like a great topic for a video. You should make a video on that.
I should fuck, I should totally do a video on that. Yeah.
He would have to actually do YouTube though, and I don't know if he does that.
What's a YouTube?
Wait, you already made a video on that?
Oh my god! Yeah. I did. I made a video on it because I was drooling at the mouth a little bit at the idea of this FDC.
It looks amazing.
It does.
Oh
It
my
looks
God.
fucking great.
Yeah, the Ray one is going to be bananas. I feel like it's going to be one of those things that's just going to get slapped on defense, and you're just like,
Yep.
all right, deal with it.
Yeah, good luck.
I do feel like there's going to be a decent way to get around some of that, because I feel like probably Ahsoka will do okay to a degree with dealing with it, because it's really hard to get through that team in general.
Yeah, it's chonk. It's chonk. And I think that's
And
the
Lord
biggest
Vader
thing.
clones might do something reasonably well if you're able to manage the dots on them.
Oh yeah, it's going on defense.
But
It's- Like, Slacker already beats everything on offense pretty much, except for new dark side clones. That's a bit of an uphill struggle. But like,
In GAC he wins. It's not super consistent.
yeah,
But-
modding is a huge factor on how well
Yeah.
he does.
on both
You
sides
gotta
of
be
the
able
board
to take
there.
out Apo early.
So,
You
yeah,
gotta be able to do a couple of things.
That's literally that's kind of the linchpin, isn't it, of the dark side clones
Yeah.
team with Lord Vader. It's like, kill Apo, life becomes easier.
Yes, pretty much.
Well, yeah, because that ramping the cron gives them so much offense based on the stacks, right? And so
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah.
the longer Apo just sits there, he just, hey, you want a 200k basic again?
Yeah.
You want to relive Night Sister Spirits
Remember my
trauma.
AOE?
Oh
Oh,
god,
shit.
that AOE is very satisfying.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
yeah.
That's
So-
one hell of an AOE.
Ray's going to be wild in under Slacker. We know that's going to happen. I really enjoy the Hermit Yoda FDC, but not because of Hermit
That's a fun
Yoda,
one.
just because of the bonus to Luke, where he uses a special, he gets a bonus turn. So
We
you
were
can
talking
literally
about that. It's like the Ayla one.
you can get Luke to take 6 turns in a row. It's like,
It reminded
what?
me of the Ayla one, like because Ayla used to gain a bonus turn whenever
Yeah.
an ally used a special, right? So you could like chain around the JML bonus turns with like the granted ability?
No,
But,
It was
First
whenever
thing-
she's stunned, I think. Wasn't it?
Whenever
stunned?
Yeah, whenever
Oh, it was in the
whenever an enemy
stuns.
was
whenever they
was
used the
stunned.
special, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it was he took the bonus turn whenever somebody was stunned, and then whenever
Okay.
Jedi use a special, they stun.
Used the special.
Yeah.
they
So
stunned.
she was
Okay,
just getting
yeah,
bonus turn and bonus turn and bonus turn.
It felt similar to that, like
Yeah.
the bonus turn on a special sort of thing. See, he can like do his special, like do a granted, then do a special, do the granted, do the special, do it like he can
Yeah.
like chain around so fucking much. That's absolutely awesome.
It is.
love the
It's really
JPL
fucking
bonus
cool.
on there.
It's just gonna make JML rock the living crap out of a couple of the counters because he's just gonna get so many turns. That
I mean,
he's like,
I'm just thinking about the interaction between Slacker and then JML. So you'll be like, okay, I pass my turn over to Jedi Knight Luke, and Ray's like, I take a turn. Jedi Knight Luke's like, I take a turn, and Ray's like, I take a turn, and Jedi Knight Luke's like, I take a turn. It's just going to be those two going back and forth for like 15 turns.
The problem with this though is the fact that the Hermit Yoda FDC will never be on defense.
Oh god, no, it won't work properly. No.
It just the AI will play it so poorly.
AI is
It's
dumb,
probably
yeah.
not going to be worth
Well,
the
I mean,
headache.
the simple fact that the AI has an aneurysm whenever it tries to play Jedi Knight Cal Kestis under JML
Yeah.
invalidates JML on defense totally. Because Jedi Knight Cal is just like, I could use my specials and build up my persistence, whatever the fuck it's called, pertinence.
My insta kill.
Yeah,
because
my
that's,
insta-kill.
like the whole fucking reason that I exist.
Yeah,
but
but-
you know
but
what?
he's like-
actually.
Nah, I don't want to do that. I'll just use the
Wanna
same
keep
ones
using
all the
burst
time.
ability over and over again.
I'll just use the same one and slowly build it up. It's like, for fuck's sake, Cal, do something useful. They need to
Well, I
rework
would-
his AI.
I wouldn't say never on defense. I think in threes it will be fun to do Jedi Master Luke on defense with Luke because it's just going to be way less for the AI to handle. And that
JML, JKL, Hermit Yoda.
yeah, that'll be fun.
You will have like turn 2 JML ult, without a doubt, because Luke
Yeah.
will like
Probably, yeah.
Hermit Yoda. Whenever you use inherited teachings on him, he passes he passes Jedi's lessons
The
to
Jedi
all
lessons,
allies.
yeah.
So it just like supercharges the ult, and that between that and Jedi Knight Luke taking a bonus turn after every special just means you're gonna use a lot of it. He's gonna ult really quickly.
Well, and the thing
Oh, yeah.
too with Jedi Knight Luke taking on those turns, as long as you can gain turn meter, you can just feed turns to like Cal or Revan or whoever else you need to as well.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
It's just
yeah, easily.
It's going to be so nutty. The only thing that I
Oh, yeah.
am a little annoyed with this particular cron is the stats they gave it because it's like crit avoidance and
health.
max health are things that
Seriously.
AML does not need.
There was such an.
Protection, damn it.
Could you imagine if they just said, yeah, 150% protection? Like, could you imagine if they did
well,
that? Oh,
I would
yeah.
take 80% protection. Jesus Christ.
So would I, but I want them
Having
to
a
go crazy.
We'd be having a very different discussion right now because that would be like, okay, so you are just like nuking all of the things.
Yeah.
Lovely, awesome. Just get that shit
You know,
in here.
for some reason, they gave Hermit Yoda stacking max health as part of that level 15. And I'm like, why though? Like,
Yeah, I'm not.
he
entirely
doesn't
sure
die
why.
anyway.
Isn't it because of his
So does he heal based on his health?
No,
forget-
it says a health equalization, isn't it?
No,
His
his
big heal?
basic heals. His basic heals health. I forget if it's based off of his.
Oh,
health
sorry.
Or based off of all their
Targets health. I can't remember. Yeah, I think you might be right.
yeah,
Maybe
I-
that's why. Isn't it
All
something
other
like
allies
can't,
get recover 10% health and 5% protection? All other Jedi.
Yeah, so it's just their. It's based off of their health. So I mean, I guess like the health equalization would be
the
like
big one
biggest
is current health? Yeah, so all allies have their health
Yeah.
percentiles equalized. So the higher his
Yeah.
health, the more you'll equalize, I guess.
Yeah.
Then they recover 20% health and protection. But it's not based
Yeah,
on
the
his
more-
health, so that's their health.
Yeah, exactly. It's just basically the more he'll be able to contribute to that equalization.
I guess literally the whole point is just for him to be a little tankier.
Yeah, but he's like the last guy to die anyway. He's always stealthed. He's always got
know,
a 100% evasion while stealthed.
You're gonna have just masters training all over the board though.
That
because
is 100% true. He'll have no
you're gonna be
cooldowns.
calling him all the time.
Yeah.
Because the fact he's going to give everyone Jedi lessons, and so he's like master training and master training and master training. Those will be his first 3 turns or 4 turns, and then
also like using the big heel constantly, passing foresight to the whole team all the time. And it'd be good for banner recovery, to be fair.
The other perks up too, though, because that means he's going to get foresight around a lot, which means they're going to get that 100% bonus damage from level 6. And as long as they're at max health, they get 100% offense from the level 12. This team is going to hit so hard.
It really is.
Turn 5 that it's just like there's probably not going to be much left that this team won't be able to counter, which is kind of cool. Like I don't mind. Like this set is kind of this like weird combination of like you've got some just ungodly heavy hitters. Jedi Vanguard Kron might get better with the release of Mace. We'll see how the rest of that interacts, and it might get to that same tier. Whereas
and Depa, don't forget Balls Deepa.
Balls Deepa.
Yeah, Balls Deepa. She'll get there. But like the other two are like they're definitely much more niche Krons. They're like kind of like fun little things, but they both have mechanics in them that are still kind of
cool,
usable other places.
Yeah. Definitely.
Even if you don't have the investment there, you can still use it. Like Director Krennic, we can jump over to him.
Yeah, go ahead.
That support level 12 was a menace.
Oh my God,
yes.
9 months ago, and so it's like, man, a dark side support cron. I don't know where I could ever use that.
Well, it's not even limited to dark side. It's a support cron.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's just
you can use that on light side if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, the other characters are Shore Trooper, Empire, and Death Trooper, but you can use that support cron on a light side team if you really want to. And there's absolutely some reasons to use that on like that level 12 support, fucking huge.
Yeah. Let's not forget about the 60% offense that comes with the cron too.
So real quick for what we're talking about, whenever a support ally starts a turn, they dispel tenacity up from all enemies and reduce their tenacity by 100% until the end of their turn. Whenever a support inflicts a debuff on an enemy, all allies gain benefits based on their rolls for the rest of the encounter. Attackers 10% crit damage, healers 5% tenacity, supports 10% potency, tanks 5% defense, and whenever a support grants a buff to another ally, they inflict buff immunity for 1 turn on all enemies. That's fucking huge.
Yep.
They have
it's so strong.
With their tenacity reduced, so they're inflicting all those debuffs over there. That's not limited to once per encounter. So if you inflict 20 debuffs in 1 turn, you're inflicting your attackers are getting 20 times 10, 200% crit damage.
Yep.
Like it's huge. Like, come on, it's insane.
It was always lots of fun on a Jabba team, but it was also equally as fun if you used to take like Queen Amidala against Jabba and you maxed out your crit damage and then you realize you've just suicided your team because all the thermal detonators blow up you. You're like, oh fuck, no! You've got like 2 thermal detonators on Padawan Obi-Wan. It's like 500,000 damage. You're like, shit. Whoops. That's the one thing the one thing Queen Amidala's team needs is a revive. Like if they could get a revive,
that would be
the
nice.
team would be great.
Or just some sort of like DI for like you can like a savior mechanic. I would take a savior mechanic at this junction.
Yeah.
Just so that like if you don't get like 3 thermals on POW and then he just dies. And,
yeah. So when he dies, it's like there's no damage on this team. Yeah. You've got Queen Amidala that will survive forever, and Master Qui-Gon Jinn that will also survive forever. Yeah, and then nobody else that deals any damage, unless you throw gas on the team or something. I suppose. Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Like when you're facing a defense, it's like let me kill Qui-Gon and then make sure. Let me kill Padawan Obi-Wan and then make sure I don't time out.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much. Yeah, the Krennic Cron is interesting because of what they chose to boost. But the only part that kind of just makes me feel a little like disheartened for the team is they gave them no way to get in front of things. And to be honest, they're not this team right now. They're giving you like 3 of the guaranteed members. It's they give you Shore, Death, and Krennic.
Yeah,
as part of it. Then the Empire faction tag. But they give you no way to get in front. They really don't do anything. Like Krennic has a really cool ability. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you just need to actually be able to use it.
But he has to be in the leader slot to activate it.
And you'd probably want to have Krennic's Omicron. And
Well, that's not a problem for Koth.
Doesn't do anything. Still doesn't do anything comparatively. Yeah, it still doesn't change the role there.
This one feels really bad for Krennic. Like Death Trooper, Shore Trooper, I can more see like using this on an Iden team, like to keep it with Empire, rather than using Krennic on the fucking team. I'm sorry, Krennic. You were Ben Mendelsohn. You were awesome in Andor. I'm sorry, but just goddamn, your character.
The revive on Shore Trooper is great. That can be useful in a lot of places. The Death Trooper assisting whenever an ally uses an ability with 50%.
Oh, that's great.
That's huge.
Nice.
That's great. That can go in any. That can go with Imperial Remnant. That can go with Iden. That can go with Imperial Troopers. That's great, no problem. The support cron has its own can of worms. You could probably make that work with troopers of some kind. I know both Veers and what's his nuts Stark are support characters, so you can make that work.
Half the fucking Imperial Troopers are support.
Yeah, a lot of them are supports.
Yeah, there are quite a few there. Well, they just have to be able to debuff or buff to get advantage of the level 12, though. But yeah, anyways.
Range, Piet, Stark,
Gideon.
There's so many.
Gideon.
There's so many supports.
Scouts a support too. There's a ton of supports. But like Krennic, it just sucks because the first half of his kit of his cron is locked to him being the leader.
Yeah,
it's just like we know that wasn't going to be a thing for like 90% of the people that have this character.
Yeah. Mine is still. I think it's Relic 4 was his requirement level. I took him to Relic 4 and then
mine's still there.
I hid him in a shed because I'm like, I'm never going to use you, Krennic. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If they had any kind of way to protect the team long enough to get the ball rolling, this could have been a really good cron. But like, oh yeah, we give Shore a pre-taunt, which he already has.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
But we did it again. There's twice as much pre-taunting.
I like the IPD call out to get the double insight off of that.
Yeah, I don't have my IPD is like gear 3.
Yeah, but again,
you don't have a Relic 9 IPD? Wow, get good. What are you doing, relicking your Ewoks or something?
Fucking noob.
Yeah. Useless Ewoks.
Mm-hmm.
But
you should have a Relic 9 IPD, obviously.
Yeah. Do you happen to have a Relic 9 IPD, Wolfie? As I'm beginning to sense a pattern here.
I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny said allegations.
What's your Hondo like?
Talk to my lawyer. We've all done some stupid things, you know.
We have,
as it were, but maybe IPD can be useful in the future. I'm hoping that a Relic 9 IPD might pay off.
IPD got boned by the changes thanks to massive damage, now not actually being that massive.
I do use IPD sometimes with Afra because like the AoE buff to spell with like the target
nice,
community is actually pretty solid. It comes into handy, so I will use IPD on occasion on an Afra team, especially so I can save like B2 to hang out with GG and stuff like that. But he's not the greatest character in the game. It would be nice, like you said, if the massive damage actually did something and was like meaningful anymore. Because like massive damage is just like.
I mean, that massive damage would that massive damage would be okay if he didn't actually self-destruct. Like if it was just like he can only use this if he drops below 90% health.
Get a revive. Yeah, give him instantly replaced with another IPD.
Yeah,
so keep on going with the instant defeat.
That's what they did with his TB Omi, right? Like his TB Omi revives, but. It's Unfortunately, like you just look at someone like Savage. Savage does massive damage if the enemy's below 50% health. Savage doesn't kill himself afterwards. He's still around. Like
my JML has enough protection to on the regular call to assist deal massive damage.
Exactly.
Like if my JML call to assist is doing as much as like probe droids
situational suicide
right, it's like okay, well this has been rendered fucking incredibly pointless.
If they just gave his Ami as a permanent effect
to the
make that a
character,
Zeta. Yeah.
then he would be bananas, dealing damage equal to 200% of his max health, and then giving all allies 300% offense.
Yeah.
That would be
what
bananas.
Drex is suggesting in the chat is also not too bad. Make him deal massive damage per relic level. That would also be okay. So
scale it up.
you could do nearly
like
a million
DCP?
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him a massive
That would give
damage
him
for
some
each
relevance
level.
again. That would give him some relevance again, for sure. Because all of a sudden that turns it from being a tickle into being, oh, you can one-shot something. And that's all of a sudden high value, right?
It's an acknowledgement of like where we're at in the game right now, and like how far things have gone. We're like,
Especially for
people
like
do
a
basic damage with like massive damage. It's insane.
I'm almost inclined to say, even if it was like massive damage under protection as an AoE, so you can hit the entire board rather than one person. That would be, it just needs something, a little bit of a tweak. But we're getting completely off fucking track here.
well, that's something new.
No. There's no new things.
I'm pretty sure getting off track is our track.
That is our method.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Got one more FPC to get through, which is the good old Chief Nebbit.
Oh, that's the worst one of the lot.
No, Nebbit.
I, honest to God, though, take out the fact that it's Jawas, and there are some parts of the Kron that are still very helpful. You have crit damage, health, potency, and health steal as the stats in the Kron. You basically have a level 3 that will give any light side ally a bonus turn at the start of the battle, provided they can still gain turn meter.
You confusingly have IG and Queel on a Jawa Kron.
I love it. I fucking love it.
But the fact that the level 15 gives everyone the droid, Jawa, and scoundrel tag though is pretty nuts.
I mean, you know what? The only thing that would be better than having IG and Queel having the Jawa tag is if it was something like, give C the Jawa tag. Yeah, like C has been relegated to a support unit for Chief Nebbit.
That would be funny. But
I love it.
Fucking amazing.
For
I'm
a
down
lot
for
of
that.
people, though, I just don't think people think of how well the synergies go together with this team that they've put together, for at least for 5s. And 3s it's going to be shitty.
Yeah,
but for
3s
5s,
ain't
it's
gonna
a lot
do
of fun.
shit. Yeah.
Because there's just so many ways you can stack this together to make this like a really explosive team, because the AI only has like one way to play this, and it's in your favor. And so I think it's gonna be one of those things that's like, people are either gonna be like, oh my god, I gotta use JMK here, or they're gonna get completely caught off guard and get destroyed by the thermal detonator damage.
Well, I'm curious to know if like OG Kylo just solos it.
Shouldn't.
I don't think
Because
so. I think with IG and Queel there,
Yeah, the shock, the
shock and the stuns.
tenacity down. Yeah.
Okay. But you know what I mean? Like anything that takes reduced damage from percentile health effects, is that just going to...
Yeah.
Although they've got a lot of recovery as well, actually, haven't they? Whenever thermals go off, doesn't everybody recover 5% health and protection?
Whenever an enemy takes damage from a thermal, they recover 5% health and protection, gain 5% turn meter, and there is an 80% chance that they will inflict it with another thermal detonator, which cannot be dispelled, prevented, or resisted.
So Nest, eventually. Eventually Nest might.
I don't think Nest will even chew through it fast enough.
She does ramp very slowly, to be fair. I don't know.
Well,
I'm trying to think of counters.
When her Kron goes away, I don't think you can solo this.
Well, and Nest will be inflicted. IG and Queel is a death sentence for Nest, because you got tenacity down, you got a stun, you got shock, you got she's not gonna be able to heal. She's not gonna be able to actually be able to be effective. Over
No,
there.
she'll just get bonus protection all the time.
Yeah.
And all the thermals will be fine. Although Nest has build up crit damage as well. Yeah.
And she builds up crit damage. Yeah, so the thermals will do even more damage to her. So I don't think Nest is going to be soloing this.
Yeah.
The fun part with this is that if you do it right, you basically, what you'll do is you get Jawa Engineer to be your weakest ally. They'll go first. And they'll be if you mod them even relatively decent, they'll go first pretty quickly, because they get like plus 50 speed as they're unique. So even if you have somebody that gains 100% turn meter like Afra, you should still be able to outrun Afra, which is kind of funny to me. But then basically they'll pump 45% turn meter to the rest of the team. So if you just make IG go next, IG just slaps an AoE down on the entire team that has provoke. They all attack into IG and get lit up with thermals.
Well, and then IG's AoE also places AoE tenacity down, right?
Yeah. So they won't
that's
resist
also
them.
quite nice.
Yeah, so they won't resist them either. And then you just get Quill to go after that, pump more turn meter into everybody else. So now that everyone's going to take a turn, Scavenger just throws his little bomb out there and detonates the field, and then you watch 3 or 4 members just go away. I'm going to laugh my ass off. But this is the best counter to Afra with her crown right now.
But it's also
she
like
gets 100% TM.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% turn meter, not bonus turn meter. So if you can overlap, if you can go higher than 100% turn meter, then you'll go first, basically. And because it'll be a coin toss as well, so it'll be the person with the higher speed will go first. So.
If you have 2 characters that gain 100% turn meter, it is the character that is the fastest that goes first.
Yeah. So just have that engineer be really quick.
Apra for 360 speed, but a 300 speed Jawa engineer, which is super doable, is already 350 out the rip. So it's not going to be hard to have like a low 300s Jawa engineer that will outpace most.
Afras are usually pretty slow, like not
because she doesn't need speed really.
I think mine's like 300.
I'm not sure mine is. Mine might even be slower than that.
I don't even know.
But don't forget when you throw out that grenade as well. I think it's Jawa. Is it Jawa that's got the grenade that detonates, or is that Scavenger? When they detonate all those thermal detonators, you're going to gain 5% turn meter for each thermal that blows up.
Yeah.
Because of the FDC. So it means they're still going to have provoke. So you're going to blow up the board. Anybody that survives is going to counterattack. They've got an 80% chance for each thermal that did blow up them to gain additional thermals. Then they're going to counterattack you and get more thermals. And it's just going to be like, oh, welcome back, bitches.
Well, and the Lie in the Sand unique, though, also scales off of the number of people attacking as well.
Yep.
So it's going to, like, you're going to see everyone with like 10 to like 15 thermals, like by the time the enemy team gets to move.
Yeah. So when you blow them up, then your whole team's getting 100% turn meter.
Yeah.
And that's so you're just going again.
You're just going again. So the Lie in the Sand
unironic would be an awesome cron.
Yeah. At each turn, if a Jawa ally was damaged by an attack that turn, Jawa Scavenger has an 80% chance to inflict 2 thermals for 2 turns on each enemy that used an ability that turn. This effect occurs for each time a Jawa ally was damaged by an attack this turn. So it's like you'll just drop a bunch of freaking thermals.
Yeah. I'm feeling like you can almost create infinite turn meter looping here.
It's gonna be really annoying, and it's gonna be a ton of restore. So it's like, again, it's one of those things where people are like, "I'm just gonna use JMK here." Like, that's what they're gonna end up doing just to stop the turn meter.
It's just like
I've totally done that.
I'm not fucking with this.
I've been there. I'm not gonna lie. I've 100% been there. Where it's just like, yeah, it's a dumb fucking team, but you know what? Screw it. JMK prevents turn meter gains.
Hang on.
I don't care.
It reminds me of the good old days of Ray Jawas. Can we do
my god,
Ray Scavenger, Quill, IG11, and Nebbit.
Oh god.
Now, this is the key and important part, though. It does not require Chief Nebbit to be the leader, which is so annoying that they let him slide, but tied Director.
But Krennic not. Yeah.
You could in theory do IG Quill, Chief Nebbit, and Scavenger under Ray, and just laugh your way to the bank.
That would be quite fun. I might do that for memes, literally just for a joke, because people will look at it and go, "What the fuck?" But I will miss the fun of like having Datacron under Ray giving 100% stats, and Datacron in general. That's a lot of fun. Okay. Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say,
was fun. I'm glad it's going to be gone too.
We 2 things. One, we are running out of time, and I think we've got some Tribe Talks questions.
Oh yeah.
So
it's 6 o'clock already. God damn.
Tribe Talk questions
so it's 11 for you.
Yeah, it's 11 for me. So we've got a few. Not many. We have a couple of questions. So we'll rifle through these real quick. So Vicetorn says, I thought they could not do gamble packs for real money and has shown a picture of an Omicron reserve cache, which is 66. I don't know. Was there ever a thing that says you can't do gamble packs for real money?
That might be a country-to-country specific thing. I don't know, but gamble packs for money is.
I know some of the
fine.
EU countries got rid of that.
I could buy that pack in the UK, so it's definitely not a thing in the UK. So maybe it's other countries.
I mean, you're not EU, motherfucker.
No, we're European. We're just not in the EU. I'm pretty sure most of the EU doesn't ban this either.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's probably banned in some countries and some areas and everything. But at least in the US, it's still fine.
Yeah.
They can still fuck us and whatnot.
Yeah,
I think there are certain areas that it is completely banned. Because I remember I've seen people in my chat saying I can't buy anything, like at all, no packs available whatsoever, which would really blow if you want to try and whale. So yeah, I think that's case by case. That's set by jurisdiction, not by CG. Okay, so Bubba Joe says, without changing the cost, would you rather have fun FTCs like Phoenix and Chief Nebbit, or would you rather have powerful FTCs like Dadbot Boba and Rey? My personal stance on this is, we'll get to the second part of this question, before I go over to you guys, is my personal stance on this is clap your hands. Bring them together. I want fun DCs that are powerful. That's what makes them fun. You know?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm just gonna comment on that question over there, or rather the framing, real quick. Dadbot Boba is both powerful and fun, and makes a random ass shit tier character like not completely shit tier. He's good in TW. He does some good things. He's not completely awful. He just has really fallen off. But it's also a very fun Datacron, which makes a great, a lesser used character, we'll say. Useful again.
Because I mean, it's like the Sidious Cron, right? You know,
¿Por qué no los dos? They give me fun crons, which also are make them elevated to do good things.
Yeah.
How
about you, Karth? What's your position on this?
I mean, I would probably look at rephrasing it from fun and powerful to do you have ones that are full squad requirements, or do you want ones that are underman? Can you do you do the Sidious Crons as FDCs, or the Fennec Boba Cron?
Oh, that too, yeah.
And allow you to underman, so it's a high investment cost, but you're allowed to two-man with the team, versus it's the full cost, but now it's just a powerful Cron, or it's just a fun niche Cron, or whatever it ends up being. And on those ones, I'd rather solo crons be more a part of the normal set, so they're a little harder to chase after, and then just deal with the make the FDCs more of just a generic power bump on whatever squad they're going for. Mostly just because I feel with the FDCs, they are very much what you're getting into, what it's going to be, so make it more universally applicable, versus if you're gonna do a solo team, you then have to bank on the fact that somebody has the two characters.
That character,
yeah.
And so I feel if you leave it at least a little broader, it makes it players can engage with it at their own pace. If you make it the Boba Cron, where it's Boba solo, it's but if you don't have Boba, you just gonna ignore it.
He's a conquest character people ignored.
Out of all of the conquest characters, he's probably the most ignored. Him and Trench, all the way up there or down there in terms of I'm not investing in this. I get you. Okay, so there is. Sorry, go Wilfie. Yeah, sorry.
No, I will say I would, if we wanted to reframe the question a little bit, for fun versus powerful, whatever, and wanted to look at it more of the perspective of older, lesser used characters versus newer, crazy, more powerful characters. The dark side vision Rey is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Is going to be a wild, what the fuck, holy crap, this is, I just, holy shit, Cron. Just hands down. However, I would prefer more Chief Nevitz. I would prefer more Director Krennics. over more dark side vision rays. And if that is the spirit of the question, and the spirit of the question is more, do you want more like random ass like crazy characters that can now do some stuff and like have like, you know, have fun, whatever, as opposed to the OP teams getting more OP? If that's the spirit of the question, then I'm down for more fun as opposed to more OPness.
We do love a bit of OPness, though. Yeah.
Like a little O with my penis.
I think I'm with you. Like I think both should exist, but I think on a balance, I think that the new powerful characters, on a ratio of let's elevate random old shit, I think it should be heavily skewed into random old shit and one FDC for something that new that's really good. You know, one thing like Rey, and then 3 things like random old characters that get it. Like maybe have an Ewok Elder FDC. That's what I'm gonna say. Maybe an Ewok Scout.
Technically,
yeah.
What you're describing is precisely what they did.
I know, right?
I say we have that. I was about to say we have that right now. So we got Dark Side Vision Rey, Chief Nebbit, Hermit Yoda, Director Krennic.
Yeah, all old characters.
All old characters.
Even Jedi Knight Luke is an old character.
He is. He's old.
At this point, yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is, I like the way it is.
I like what we got this time a lot more than what we got last time. I like parts of what we got last time, but like the Zalbar and the Phoenix Kron just don't really. They don't really work with the teams that they want them to because they don't elevate them enough. I feel like it's gonna be the same thing with Krennic, just like
the Zalbar one was perfectly fine for 3v3.
Oh yeah,
but it also wasn't massively necessary either. Like all it did was save you some banners versus Grey Mothers.
Yes. And then in 5v5, it was some solid stats. So it wasn't a terrible Kron, but overall, you know, it did
same for Phoenix as well, right?
To do.
Yeah.
It didn't do what they were intended to do, which I think was Cartha was what was saying, right?
Yeah, it did not elevate the Old Republic team into doing anything interesting. It literally just took the 2 characters that got the Kron and allowed you to plug them in other teams.
And now the Old Republic with their full Kron will get soloed by Sidious. So it's like, okay, great.
So we just doubled down on not using them at all.
Yeah.
And same with Phoenix though too, because there's just not quite enough there to let them work that. Because I mean, like the Phoenix Kron can do its own thing if someone still sets like Inquisitors down or whatever else. And they
it's still pretty good against Inquisitors. That's true.
But yeah, there's just not a ton of latitude with this. I like what this current set is. There's a lot more refinement in there. Though I think the only dud right now is Krennic. Because they're giving Krennic no way to get in front, and they locked a lot of stuff behind his leadership. So you can't even.
He needed some of that bonus turn action, right?
I mean, or some sort of turn meter generation on the team, and there's not really anything there with the 3 characters they're trying to lock him in with. That's not like what I would call like an.
He's gonna have to use Gideon in that team. That's fuck DTMG.
Probably Piet would be the one I would steal if I was going to take anybody, but.
Piet doesn't have a heck of a lot of use these days. Okay, so there is a second half to this question. In general, do you think FDCs are good for the game? I'll let you guys go first, since I jumped in at the start of the last one. So.
Good for the game, yes.
Yeah.
Under the caveat that they really need to look at the pricing for them, because an FDC is still pricing out most players outside of K2 from really wanting to bother with them. I don't know if the metrics on that have changed from where we were with previous Datacrons, or people just want to just decide to go for them or not. But I feel like there's just too much cost associated with them for players to take advantage. There's not ways to kind of get ahead of it. You're just kind of always going to be stuck behind. Do you go for the FDC or do you go for just the regular Datacrons? Because, on some of those, the regular crons are just way more effective for the account than, because it's like what?
Well, it's 4 times the cost, right?
Yeah, for one FDC. And so for some accounts, that might be worth the gamble. And so their whole thing on trying to make them more accessible, more player friendly, more reliable, I'm all for that. But I feel like the key demographic is who they just sailed right over the top of, which is like the newer or lower players. And so
Oh yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head right over there. That's like the investment cost and everything, like who they're trying to target with all this sort of stuff. You know, if one focused datacron takes 5, other like level 9 datacrons, we're looking at that as, oh, I already get all these other level 9s. Most players might get 1 level 9.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
So,
Like Karth was talking about below Kyber 2. Below Kyber 2, people don't get fuck all datacrons anyway.
If there are, if they're already saying, oh, it's worth 5 level 9s, and that's your fucking cost of entry over here, and it's only like the late game players that are already getting it, and like we want these to be for fun datacrons, then they are missing the mark completely with the actual investment that is required for these freaking crons.
Then you double down on how you get them too, right? It takes the pass currency, which for most people, if you're not buying the pass, it eliminates at least 1 round of Omicrons to pick up one. And so it's like, all right, what are we not understanding who we're targeting with these? Because like, if you want to give the whales more food, that's
the
fine.
Question. Who are you targeting? Like, what's the question?
Why does a whale need a Datacron that has a Gear 5 entry level?
Yeah, it's not for them.
It's not for them. Like, they don't need it. Like, they don't need it.
I like forgot there was a Gear 5 entry level, because I look at these as like an end game kind of thing, because the barrier for entry for these datacrons is already so freaking high. It's like, why would you put a Gear 5? It would
make sense.
It makes no fucking sense.
It would make sense if they released an FTC that was for a marquee character, right? So that people who take them to 3-star Gear 11 would be like, oh, this is an FTC I can use. But they don't do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
They don't do it.
They can go on a team. You can be like, we can make a Gear 11 3-star character useful again. Like, oh, they can actually go on this relic team that I have. The datacron will still work. I can still function. Like, that is how you entice somebody to go and try and invest in this.
Exactly.
And they're missing the mark so hard.
The funny thing is, I did see somebody do that this week with the Africron on Lord Vader.
Africron on Lord Vader. Okay.
Yeah, because you can use it at Gear 5. So they took their Gear 11 Scorch that was 5 stars and threw it on the team with the Africron so that you could still have a cron.
Yeah.
All right.
Like we were saying, I got asked a little while ago, like, imagine if the Apocron was one of these focused datacrons where you could bring it in at Gear 5. Yeah. That would make a lot more sense, because then you could you whale to get the the Apocron, and then you get the investment for like the rest of those characters that are all going to be, Gear 11, fucking 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, whatever, before you actually get them up to 7 stars, and you can use that datacron on the team for that entire time, and like your investment is suddenly worth something, as opposed to just sort of, a fart in the frickin' wind. But
yeah. Overall, though, I'd say that yes, I think FTCs are good for the game. I do agree with Karth. I think they need to be a little bit cheaper.
Refigure them.
Yeah.
I completely agree with Karth. 100%.
Or just don't tell me they're for newer players. Like just don't lie to me.
Oh no, it's 100%. It's late game stuff.
Yeah.
If it costs 5 already, fucking tier 9 whatever datacrons, those are late game stuff.
Yeah.
You're not fooling nobody there.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question comes from Trodat. He says, so Hunter Mercenary was the 3rd Bad Batch second round of characters, and it was a Cantina energy farm. Can we assume that Disguised Clone Trooper will also be a Cantina farm? Because he's the 3rd... I mean, he might be.
Probably not. My guess is that the clones will probably wind up on hard nodes just to incentivize pack purchases leading into the Mace event.
I mean, they like to spread them out a little bit. They'll have like 2 of them on regular energies, 1 on fleets, 1 on Cantina. So
that's what I'm thinking.
They might spread them out again.
I think 1 will go to Cantina, 1 will go to fleet from here, and then whichever way around it goes.
Two on regular energy.
Yeah.
It feels like a good distribution.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't put any of them on Cantina just for the sake of incentivizing packs for those who are going to try to go for Mace. Which I don't know why Mace, not going to wail on the Vanguard characters, but
Yeah.
We'll see what
Cantinas
happens.
are always a double-edged sword because you can farm them up so easily, but then the entire time you're farming them up, you can't get
feels-
your goddamn relic.
It feels so painful, doesn't it? It's like, oh my god.
It does.
Especially if it's like a 16 energy node. You just this takes so long, even though it only takes like 2 weeks. You're like, it takes so long.
That's the reason. That's the
Yeah, but
reason
it's
my
2
comeuppance
weeks.
is still 6 stars. I still have a 6-star comeuppance because it's a fucking cantina farm.
A 6-star come in the pants. Yes. Yeah.
Oh yes. Come in my 6-star pants. Yes.
Exactly. You don't need to go the full 7 stars sometimes. Yeah. All right. So the last question comes from Smeagol. What do you guys feel about the fact that the first 3 eras, 9 months of this year, are for raid teams? Do you think this is going to be a pattern going forward? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Probably not. My guess is that they had some other plans and things are bleeding together more than they wanted them to, and so they're just trying to incentivize the content, which is what I feel about the pirates. I feel like the pirates being added to the raid was an afterthought. It was not planned.
Maybe they just couldn't
be
genuinely think
wrong.
of another faction to go in that raid. They're
Well,
like,
I mean, Inquisitors would have been a decent one to do at for the Jedi. I mean, they're not exactly Order 66.
They wouldn't
but
have made
close-
sense. Yeah.
They're closer than pirates are.
what are you talking about? Smee was totally there.
Yeah, totally there. So was
I
Hondo.
mean,
Yeah.
You know, like just a few years before.
neither of them really has a good argument, like for Inquisitors or for the fucking pirates to be there. I mean, you could
No,
like maybe try and pretend there's an argument for pirates to go and loot the temple, but like that's not gonna fucking happen. Come on, like what are you
No,
smoking?
it felt
That's
a
not
little,
happening.
Yeah, it felt a little out of place, but the I don't know. I feel like they're trying to build up something on the back end, and they're trying to incentivize the investment. So I feel like that's why pirates got added into the raid, was just so people would gear them and unlock them right away, which makes me hopeful that maybe we're getting a pirate capital ship.
I'll take it. To be honest,
I'll take anything.
I will take Ewok gliders as a capital ship. All right.
I'll take anything to get rid of the Leviathan meta.
I'm still just trying to make anything get some value out of these online Ewoks. I've
I'll
got.
take a new Republic fleet. I'll take an old Republic fleet. I'll take
Another one. Yeah.
Any. Well, we don't have any old Republic fleets. We have an old Republic ship.
I'll take a Lego fleet at this point. You know,
Yeah.
like crossover with Lego. We could have Darth Jar Jar pilot it.
Oh God.
I'd be okay with it.
But to the question, do you think this will be a pattern going forwards? I think that the first 3 eras of this year being raid teams is just kind of a factor of they're getting ready for the next raid.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And I
once we
feel-
get the next raid, it'll last for a while, and then the next couple eras will not be raid teams, and then we'll get some more raid teams when they're getting ready for the next raid.
Yeah.
I feel like their initial statement about putting a new raid out every 6 to 9 months is now going to be like
Once a
every
year.
once a year or longer.
Although
Like,
actually
what?
that timeline, like you just said, does raise the question. If it is 9 months and they say 9 months for every raid, is it to be expected that every thing is just going to be for the raids?
It's possible. I think we'll probably get a 1 to 2 eras a year that are going to be towards a new GL or whatever else they want to
Just
run.
random shit.
Yeah.
But they might have to get a little bit more creative with the raids and not make them so heavily thematic so that it's like nobody's complaining about who we get to use in the raid. Because
It might depend on who they go for. So go on.
I was just gonna say that was the advantage with the Crate Dragon raid is that
Right.
it wasn't perfect, but at least thematically, all of those people either lived on the planet or were tangentially close enough we could make it make sense.
Yeah, Jawas. They were there.
They were there in Mando. They were taking the
Old
the
Republic.
thing
They were
from
there.
it. They were
You know.
in the game.
Yeah.
when you
Just
bought the Crate
like
Dragon.
5,000 years beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically the same
Like I said-
thing.
Like I said, tangentially they were close enough where you could make it make sense.
Yeah.
Where it's like the older, like the new raids right now, it's just like it's gonna be really hard to sell people on like why pirates were at the the battle of the Order 66, or in the better part of it, why the dark side clones and or the pirates are helping the Jedi free the younglings from the attacking clones.
Well,
But
also the raid after the Crate Dragon was the speeder bike, and there was a lot of older characters used over there. The current raid that we have right now, there is a good amount of older characters that are being used. This this raid we have coming up might just be a bit of an anomaly, where there's like all of like the new fucking factions possible, like the new Bad Batch, and the new Jedi Vanguard, the new this and the new clones, or they may run it for a long time. But like the next one could be. The next one could be some more older characters. Could be more like they could revert to like the older norms. This could be an anomaly.
Honestly, I think
data point.
If in the future it was like maybe 2 eras worth of characters feed into a new raid, I'd be okay with that. I don't want it to be 3. Feels very heavy, doesn't it?
It does.
A lot. I would almost feel like if we're doing it,
expected farming.
Exactly. So it's like, it feels like if we're going to get essentially 4 eras in a year, right? Is that right? I think it's 4 eras in a year, right? Then I would expect 2 of them to be for a raid, and 2 of them potentially to be for a Galactic Legend or something like that. Or 2 to be for a raid, 1 for a Galactic Legend, 1 for a capital ship. Something like that, Because I think we'll definitely see a pattern emerge, because CG have heavily been building more and more towards standardizing everything.
Well, I think the only pattern that we're gonna see is just like the timing of things with like the factions, like the eras and all that sort of stuff. But they may go like wildly different, like which we were saying, like this would be for raids, or like this would be a ship thing. This is like oh, we haven't had ships in a while, let's do this. Oh, we haven't had this in a while, let's do this. I think they have the freedom to tailor it to the needs of the game and like see where we're at at that point. It's definitely nice to be able to have that I don't want to say freedom within that, but like that mechanism to affect that change. So
the only thing I'm really looking forward to moving, if they're going to keep this up of like having just a lot of eras feed into a single raid, is to be a little bit more upfront with where things are headed, because that was kind of like the small slap in the face when it came to the new Bad Batch team, because it was like at the very end, oh yeah, by the way, we got a new raid coming out, and coincidentally, this era that just finished is they're all needed.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they did at least tell us that, hey, this won't be coming until June. You've got 3-4 months to farm them. We're not trying to pull the rug out from you, but
they're
I think
for a while.
I think for some people they would have been a little happier, or maybe invested a little bit more at the time if they had known.
I still need like 50 shards of crosshair or something. The rest are done. So
I'm almost done with the crosshair. I got like 7 shards left.
Oh, sick! Out. You'll be done in a day or 2.
So much fun. You guys are missing out on so much damage. Crosshairs like riot.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking. You want to go pay up my student loans? Then I can wail as hard as you.
All right. Hey, I didn't think so.
Did that for my wife already. That was enough.
Yeah.
All right. That is the end of our questions this evening.
Partner,
Yeah, God. It's a
we
partnership.
Go down the list of things she'll do that you won't.
You are correct.
She could count the number of things she can do in one hand. Maybe 2. I don't know. Garth?
Depends how cold out it is.
It's never cold in Casa del Carth, I'm sure. So yeah,
I have AC here, unlike somebody else. So
yeah, no, I've just got this fan that it's a fan that if I put on the desk, it vibrates the desk and makes a hell of a racket. So instead, I've pulled out a drawer, and the fan is sitting in the drawer, so it has enough elevation to hit me in the good bits.
There you go.
Yeah, life is good.
Nice.
Life is sweet. Yeah. All right, gents. Anything else you want to chat before we wrap up? Because we're already over time.
Nope.
And,
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So I recently read War and Peace. I'm just
No, you fucking didn't, Wolfie. God damn it, you liar.
I recently skimmed the Spark Notes for War and Peace.
I was reading A Brief History of Time.
I
And
recently came across a picture of the cover of the book War and Peace, and remember that it is a thing. Anyways, yo, have a fantastic, fantastic week. It is a pleasure as always, gentlemen.
yes,
Just
yes,
goddamn.
yeah. Everybody at home
Nothing
that's
else
listening,
to add.
either live or through Spotify podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that good business. Love you all. Speak to you soon. See you tomorrow for GAC. Oh, Wolfie, you going live later?
Yes, I will be live in a little bit. I'm gonna probably munch and then, maybe a half an hour, something like that. Be live.
Go watch Wolfie kick some gack. That'll be good.
And if you were listening to this in the future, then you missed it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go and watch Wolfie's VOD. Good night, everybody.